Starter from the Dean Smith Center, 10-4 against 11-5 North Carolina. The Terps are 3-1 in the ACC. The Heels 2-1. It's a great matchup of point guards. Maryland's Steve Blake, number 2 in the ACC in assists this year, number 5 all-time in ACC history. His counterpart is a freshman, Raymond Felton, number 3 in assists, number 2 in the league in minutes played. Both teams coming off of huge wins over the weekend. North Carolina knocked off then number 6 Connecticut here. Maryland did them one better, Dick, knocking off then number 1 Duke.
And they played a brilliant second half, Mike. I had the pleasure to be down at the Comcast where it was rocking and rolling. They were perfect. Only had 3 turnovers in the second half and dominated inside. I think tonight you're going to see them attack the interior.
And that win over Duke came after a poor performance on the road against Wake Forest.
Life on the road, man, is not easy, especially in the ACC or any of the heavyweight conferences.
Huge advantage right now for the home team in the ACC. Keep an eye on McCants, 32. There's Williams. And Jawad Williams, only a 21% long-range shooter, starts the game with a 3.
Well, he hit a big shot, and you did the game, did a great job. That Connecticut game, down the stretch, he made a big jump shot late in that game.
Drew Nicholas, Maryland's leading scorer. Great entry pass to Ryan Randall.
I'll tell you, Ryan Randall was a man against Duke. He had 15 points and 17 off the glass. They're going to go inside like you saw right there to Randall.
I thought the 17 when I saw it was a misprint, but it was, and he got them all.
And I'll tell you, he had a lot of help. Holden played really well, and so did off the bench Smith.
Blake with a steal. Manuel back, the best defender on the court, and Blake goes with a left hand.
What a great play by Blake right there. That was not an easy left-handed layup. He protected the basketball. What a career he's had. He has a chance to be a 1,000-point and an 1,000-assist guy.
He's become more of a scorer this year out of necessity. McCants, good entry to Sanders, and Sanders is just clobbered.
Sanders getting a lot of playing time now. The fact that Sean May's on that sideline as you look at the starting lineups, Mike.
Blake, Nicholas, Randall, McCall, and Holden, a slew of seniors in a very young Carolina team, with Felton and Scott in the backcourt, Sanders, Williams, and McCants up front.
You know, Sanders been solid defensively. They graded him out in that performance against Connecticut, and he got graded an A for doing an outstanding job on a defensive end. Limited offensively. They didn't think he'd get a lot of playing time. Comes out of Gulfport, Mississippi. His sister, who he relies a lot on, is at North Carolina Central getting her master's degree right down the road.
Well, as a starter, he is averaging almost 5 points and 5 rebounds a game, and there is Sean May, the guy he has had to replace in the pivot. He broke his foot. Nicholas, runner won't go, but Taj Holden is right there to put it back twice.
And there's the example again, the inside, the interior. That's going to be an area of concern all night from Matt Doherty. He told me that before the game.
Carolina being pressed, and this is going to be an area of concern too. The second turnover. Nicholas gives it up to Blake. Maryland with a 6-5 early lead.
Gary Williams deciding to go with experience like he did against Duke. He brought the young kids off the bench, and they were very productive.
Calvin McCall, a former quarterback. That was a nice dish, but a little bit too hard for Holden to handle.
Yeah, a little QB trying to give up the ball. There's Mr. Gary Williams. I tell you, a passion, a love, closing in his career on 500 wins total. Done a great job at his alma mater. Has the banner flying high in a beautiful arena at the Comcast.
Brilliant moment in his outstanding career last season when Maryland won its first ever national championship. McCants can't hit from close range. McCall with a rebound, outlet to Blake. Ahead to Nicholas. He was taking over the scoring role, left by Juan Dixon.
Averaging 18 points a game.
Randall wheels into the lane. The junior college transfer out of Duncanville, Texas, has been asked to step up this year, and he's done it. 8.5 rebounds a game, 3rd in the league.
He's been a champion everywhere he's been, whether it be junior college, high school.
Felton with a couple of great moves to create something, but McCants is there to follow the miss of Jawad Williams.
McCants so versatile. He can go inside, outside. He can shoot the 3. He was sensational in a game you had, scoring 27 against Connecticut.
Just one off of his career high.
Maryland Maryland executing their half-court game, and that's what they did to perfection in the second half against Duke. A lot of patience, ball movement.
Shot clock at 12 from McCall. Blake at the baseline. This is a guy they want to have the ball when the clock's running down. Got it to Randall, and he got the bucket.
They're pounding the ball inside. Just as Gary Williams said this afternoon. He said, we are going to attack the interior, attack, attack, attack. Randall, to me, is one of the most improved players in the nation.
6 points for Randall. Maryland up by 3.
Played behind Baxter last year, learned a great deal.
It's a different thing when you become a starter as opposed to somebody who comes in and just try to give them like 12 minutes in a game.
I couldn't agree more, Mike. A lot of guys, their liabilities start to pop out when they play extended minutes.
Felton tried the circus shot, couldn't hit it. Nicholas out of the corner. Air ball, but Ryan Randall got it. Lost it, still loose. Randall forced that one up, and the rebound Emmanuel.
Good defensive effort, right? Sanders right here, getting a lot of PT, something they didn't anticipate. That's a big loss, losing Sean Mann. Yet they've held the troops together. They're 4-2 without him.
And he was playing so well when he got hurt.
Oh, he's got great hands.
Williams double teamed on the way in, forced it up and missed it. Nicholas, really quick. That's a tough pass for Holden or for Ryan Randall to try to handle. Bounce pass down around the big man's knees. That's not going to work very often. 15:26 to go first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball is presented by Staples. Get back time. Go to Staples. And in part by the CR-V from Honda, a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality.
Maryland with the early lead, 10-7, 15:26 to go first half. Welcome to Chapel Hill, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, our entire ESPN crew. Glad to have you with us. Last week I thought was critical for North Carolina. After Sean May got hurt, the air just went out of this building. You knew things were going to be tough the rest of the year, but they won 2 big games last week.
I think it was the most significant week in Matt Doherty's coaching career thus far. Beating Clemson for the 49th consecutive time in a real buzzer beater, and then coming back beating highly rated Connecticut. Instead of being 9-7, Mike, which they could have easily been, they're 11-5. They win 6 or 7 more games. They're going to be the NCAA tournament.
Felton from outside, and Randall with no competition inside clears the glass.
And they turn around an 18-20 season. Remember, they had 27 consecutive NCAA berths prior to last year.
Holden tries to lead in. Taj Holden's offense has been a disappointment for this team so far. He's only averaged 7.5 points a game and only 3.7 rebounds. He's one of those guys who has gone from 6th or 7th man to starter, and really his numbers haven't improved.
Yeah, we would have thought that he would have had a big year this year getting all that playing time. He was strong in the second half against Duke. Had 10 points, rebounded well.
McCants has a sweet.
He's a star. My friends, that young man is a star. He is absolutely a PT peer, leading the ACC in scoring, and he's a diaper dandy.
And he and McCall have been exchanging something less than pleasantries on the way down the court.
He was MVP in NIT, had that big performance.
From what I've seen of him and Felton, these kids are really the bedrock for the resurgence of this program.
Felton is their typical quarterback, so unselfish, distributes the rock, gets it to open people.
A lot of people here want to know why he doesn't get 20 points a night as well, Dick.
Yeah.
North Carolina, I don't believe, has an offensive rebound yet in this game. They haven't even been close to it.
Yeah, that's their problem. Without May, they really don't have a lot of size.
Nicholas, that one's blocked by Manuel, and the foul on Nicholas.
Good job defensively by Maryland rotating over to get that charge.
It's NBA Wednesday on ESPN. Tonight at 9, Michael Jordan and the Wizards go to New Orleans, meet Baron Davis and the Hornets. Jordan needs 14 points to pass Will Chamberlain for 3rd place on the all-time list. 31,406, Chamberlain to 31,419.
Hey, we got Michael Jordan here. Michael's in our building, that jersey.
Just a jersey.
Just a jersey. I can remember you and I calling games that he played. Where's all the time gone,
no
Mike?
kidding.
Where has it all gone? Remember watching Matt Doherty play on an 82 team that won the national title with Mr. Jordan? Played along with Jimmy Black, and then the big three. Perkins, Worthy, and the magnificent Michael.
They all made the ACC's 50th anniversary team. And here's another foul as Gary Williams goes to his bench with Jamar Smith and Nick Kaner Medley, and each one picks up a personal foul. Their first 15 seconds into the ballgame. Rashad McCants, last 2 games, he became the ACC Rookie of the Week, averaged 23.5 points a game.
They had 47 at 20 against Clemson and a 27 in that game against Connecticut. It was absolutely super. What a year this year for young people. I was on Mark Packer's show last night, and we were talking about Billy's son, and he does an outstanding job about the young talent that's in this league. I mean, you talk Chris Bosch down there at Georgia Tech, all the kids here at Maryland, kids that come off the bench, Duke, North Carolina, Sean May. I mean, it is just an influx of talent. I hope and pray none of them depart early.
At least not real early.
Exactly.
Reach-in foul on McCants. That'll be his first. It's getting more physical as the game goes along, and Matt Doherty not happy with that last call. First time they have ever started 3 freshmen here. Randall triple team to Blake. Oh, great pass.
That's why.
What a pass.
That's why he's got a chance to join the likes of Porciani and certainly Ed Coder and Bob Hurley as the only guys that have over 1,000 assists in their career.
He has 2 tonight. He needs 5 more to move into 4th place all time, behind those 3 guys who went over 1,000.
He has great vision. There's the man-to-man defense by Maryland. We're going to take a look right here. Look at Blake with the great look inside. Does a phenomenal job. They bring it back out, and then he's quick right over to Nicholas. Nice backcourt they form. What a tandem. Drew Nicholas having an all-ACC year.
3rd in the ACC in scoring. 18.3 points a game.
He was brilliant against Duke. Had 24, made big shots, and defensively he shut down J.J. Redick.
Shot clock down to 6. Felton forces a 3 and knocked out of bounds by North Carolina.
And that's an area he has to work on. Be a little bit more consistent from the perimeter, and it will happen. He's a marvelous talent. You know, we talked about that 82 team, and let us not forget the architect, the builder of that team.
Oh, absolutely.
Michelangelo Dean Smith, one of my favorite people. He had such an amazing record and never any NCAA violations, everything with class.
John Gilchrist is the new Maryland point guard. He's number 11.
You're going to like him, Mike. He's got a good future, Gilchrist.
He's got a Virginia Beach, Virginia, the 2-time state player of the year.
Played AAU basketball with J.J. Redick. Brent Musburger was really high on Gilchrist. Very strong physically. And what a nice kid. I got a chance to talk to him today in the elevator at the hotel.
Sanders, Randall out on him, and Felton goes in. Felton had it blocked, and that was Jamar Smith ahead to Nicholas.
Poor job by North Carolina rotating back defensively, and the experience of Maryland takes advantage. Nicholas sneaks out, and steals a deuce.
14 to 10, good entry pass that time to Jawad Williams, and Williams hits the bucket.
Got hit in the eye. Williams and Manuel have certainly stepped their games up this year. We talk about the freshmen, but those Souths have been a real solid contributors.
Well, right now, Dick, I think they're allowed to do what they're best at, and that's being complementary players instead of stars.
Exactly. Great entry inside to Randall again. They are really pounding that ball to the inside. Maryland, the Terps trying to take advantage of their offensive productivity on the interior.
And Randall has 8 with a chance to make it 9.
You know, you mentioned the 50th anniversary team, and you think about some of those greats. I got a call yesterday from John Swafford, the commissioner. I'm going to be speaking at that brunch. I know I'm going to be in awe when I think of the greats that have played that in this league. The ACC, Mike, and nobody has seen more than you in all the games you've called, and you've seen so many great ones in this league. You
know, the scary thing, Dick, was filling out the ballot and the guys you had to leave off for the 50th anniversary team. You could have, you know, filled up a gym with all pros with the guys you had to leave off. Maryland by 4 early.
be fun.
It's a vehicle designed for your adventures in reality. The 5-star safety-rated CR-V from Honda.
The reverse angle showed that was a good call for offside. My word, I think.
See the offensive rebound. Chris Hill drains that. Penn State had 11 points in the first half, 1 bucket in the last 10:48, guys.
All right, Reese, thanks very much. It's a 4-point difference here with 11:36 to go in the first half. Big deal inside for Maryland.
Well, just what we talked about. Their game plan was to bring it to the inside and pound the ball in with Randall, taking advantage of his experience there on the freshman Sanders. There, just pounded it inside to Randall, who's coming back with another strong performance after his 15-17 game against Duke.
The advantage 12-2 in the paint. Nicholas off the turnover, buries the 3-point shot. 19-12.
He's got great range. He was such a weapon off the bench last year playing behind Juan Dixon. Had to wait for his time, just like Dixon when he played behind Stevie Francis.
Great programs. You come in, you don't get to play right away.
He got a lot of minutes. He certainly was a valuable contributor.
Felton being guarded by Gilchrist. Trying to body him up a little bit. Scott is in for the first time.
He can shoot the 3, Scott. He can
Shot clock's at 6. Felton threw it away. Nicholas comes down and got the bucket. Tough shot. Jawad Williams was all over.
That was an incredible play right there. He protected the ball, sealed off the defense with his body, and had that good spin, that backspin.
21-12. Maryland leads the ACC in steals, and they're doing a great job against Carolina right now. Look at that rebound.
Just
I mean,
dominating.
they're just eating them up inside.
Yeah, that's you expect that, though.
Nicholas for 3.
He's feeling it.
Roll.
He's feeling it. You got to think about a TO, baby. He's on fire. You better get a TO, Mr. Doherty.
24-12. Maryland has exploded here and quieted this crowd.
You know, the Terps are going for their 3rd straight series win. And the last time that happened, when they won 3 straight meetings, was way back in 1964 and 65. Look at them with that reverse layup. 64-65. My, that's unbelievable. The last time they won 3 in a row from North Carolina. There's Nicholas shooting the baseline jump shot. He has become such a scorer.
12 points, 5 out of 7 from the floor, 2 out of 3 from 3-point range. And you mentioned the last time they won 3 in a row. Guess who was the point guard on that team?
Gary Williams. Yes, sir. Gary was playing the point before he went on to coach at Woodrow Wilson, where he got his chance by a guy I met the other day, Art DiPatri. He credits Art for giving him a chance to be an assistant at a Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, New Jersey.
Carolina needs a couple of buckets to still this momentum.
And to get the crowd back in the game. Scott's capable of knocking down the trifecta.
Tries a head fake, can't get it. Maryland has really ratcheted up the defensive pressure.
I'll tell you, Maryland's performance against Duke and what I've witnessed here thus far, really, they have been impressive.
North Carolina having no luck on the boards. They've got Damian Grant in there. Grant can play in 2 and 3 in the first. He's really tough inside, but he can't stop that.
They can't stop their interior game right now. Holden with that good reverse layup. They are executing their game plan. Gary Williams was very specific. We are going to pound it inside.
McCants tries to drop off the short pass and tosses it out of bounds. Another North Carolina turnover, and the Tar Heels have done it 5 times in the first 10.5 minutes. College Hoops Tonight brings you up to date on all the news and highlights. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, Reese Davis and Jay Billis. All the action at midnight Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
Yes, Maryland's big man really dominating. College Hoops will provide you a lot of information with our guys in there. They know their hoops. Look at this points in the paint, 3-to-1 ratio.
Felton trying to push it up for the Heels. They're down by 14. There's a big 3 by McCants. This is the guy who has to carry them from the scoring standpoint.
He has that ability. He has the ability to be very explosive. But it's very difficult when you don't have balance in your scoring, when you got to get it from the perimeter. This crowd is really alive.
McCants has 8 of North Carolina's 15 points. Steal, Felton on the run. Nice dish. Manuel back to Felton. He missed the shot. tries to put it up again. Triple teamed and blocked. Here comes Chris McCray from Maryland.
McCray, a good-looking freshman.
He fires a three.
He was one of the guys that played well against Wake Forest and earned some playing time. They were down 17 and cut a deficit to 2. What about Skip Russell? He's doing a great job with Wake Forest. Josh Howard's got to be one of the early candidates for Player of the Year in the ACC.
He is a sensational talent. He took over at the end of that Maryland game.
Also against Georgia Tech the other day, he had 30. I think when you look at Dante Jones and Howard, they are playing great. Look at the defense right here. Now, you're going to see the penetration, the kickoff, good rotation. He was kind of surprised he got the ball back, Felton. And now going to see the block right here on the inside. They come up empty in that possession when they had numbers.
Felton will get a rare breather, second in the ACC in minutes played. 0 for 6 from the floor tonight. David Noel, reverse, missed a shot. McCants with a follow.
He's a good offensive rebounder. The one dilemma for Matt Doherty and Tar Heel fans, their freshmen have to always have their A game. If they ever have their B game, they can't win.
And inconsistency is a hallmark of a freshman basketball player.
All their top options are basically diaper dandies. I love the enthusiasm of the kids here in Chapel Hill. That baseline group, really special.
Taj Holden goes baseline, and he's held by Sanders.
I'm going to call him down there at the Comcast, Gary's gang. I mean, they were really enthusiastic as you look at all the Tar Heel blue. They got all that paint all over me. They destroyed my shirt. I went in there. I'm all paint. You're going to, hey, help me get this clean. Will you please? I can't afford it.
I'm already carrying your bags.
Not made any of his threes. He's 0 for 3 from the trifecta. Was really struggling shooting the ball. Give him a rest for a couple of minutes and bring him back.
And the three-point shot can get you back in the game in a heartbeat.
And there's the zone defense that they utilized against Connecticut. They're very active in a matchup 2-3, but I'll tell you, he can shoot right over it.
Connecticut had a bunch of guys that could shoot over it, too. They just didn't make any of them.
Yeah, Ben Gordon really struggled in that game, but came back strong.
Manuel just out of control on that shot. Got it back. That three is short. Manuel, offensive rebound, gets caught up in the lane. That was his problem a year ago. He'd go in so deep, then there'd be nowhere to go. The possession arrow on the alternate possession will give him.
I mean, look at this range. I mean, he is way beyond the trifecta. That's an MBN 3. You know, I was talking about Gordon. He came back, and it was Heartbreak Hotel, and they lost to Darius Rice's unbelievable performance, 43. Oh, incredible. Gordon, though, was, I believe, 12 for 14 and had 32 in that game.
Got a 4 game down here.
He's a good player, though, Mike. He really is.
Yes, he is.
Talent.
And Manuel deserves a lot of the credit for his defense against him in the one that was played this weekend.
Here's that zone. We're going to try to get to the gaps we always talk about, the seams of the zone.
Nicholas again. This one's from a mile out. Missed it. Tipped out of bounds. It's out.
We're in Assembly Hall, Champaign, Illinois. It's sold out tonight, 16,500 for a matchup in the Big Ten of number 15, Illinois, and the 11-3 Boilermakers of Purdue. They're just a half game off the pace set by Michigan right now. While the Illini started 2-0, they have lost their last 2 at Iowa and at Indiana. Our Star Watch tonight, last year's Big Ten scoring leader, Willie Dean, who is 5th this year, and this year's scoring leader, Brian Cook, at 21.1 points per game. But Cook and the rest of the Illini coming off a frustrating weekend. A Saturday afternoon loss in Indiana. Cook fouled out with 15 points, his lowest game of the year. With Tim McCormick, Dave Barnett, and Champaign. I heard 30 below wind chills outside, but nice and toasty inside. And this is a matchup that means probably more than any game yet this year to the Illini.
Well, without question, the team is very focused. They had a tough go. They played very good teams early. Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana. They're 2-2, but when you start out 2-0, boy, you're not really frustrated, but you're very, very focused on this game.
Which is set to go. Purdue off a road win. Those are precious commodities any year, maybe more so than most this year. In the Big Ten, 82-78 at Penn State Saturday. And Luther head quickly to Darren Williams, one of 3 freshman starters for Illinois.
It tumbles off the feet of Kenneth Lowe. And a shot from the corner by D. Brown, another of the Illini freshmen, rebounded by the Boilers.
Purdue's the #1 scoring team in the Big Ten. Actually, Gene Katie said at shoot-around, I'm not quite comfortable with that. I'd rather have the best defense.
Illinois right behind, both right at 77 points per game. Chris Booker tried to slip it underneath to Willie Dean and a steal. And a head of steam for Darren Williams, who had been scoreless 3 of his last 4 games. They count on around 8 to 10 at least out of him. This from the corner by Lowe. D. Brown, maybe the fastest player in the Big Ten. Back behind him, a 3 for Cook is wide. Augustine, the 3rd freshman starter. And back up top, Augustine driving on Ivan Cartello.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of speed on the court for both teams, especially because Illinois has added Luther Head in place of Sean Harrington to the starting lineup.
Brandon McKnight, 6'2" sophomore point guard. Booker off a career game. And finally, Willie Dean, who pulls up, drains the intermediate.
Now, suicide, going for a shot fake from Willie Dean at the Big Ten in scoring last year. You've got to stay down, keep that defensive integrity.
Illinois looking inside for Cook. Booker over to front it and knock it out. Brian Cook, much more aggressive this year. This is his team, unquestioned. Senior, 6'10" out of Lincoln. With Augustine, Head, Williams, Brown, Cartello, Booker, Lowe, Dean, McKnight. Customary group this year for Gene Katie, who is coming off back-to-back non-NCAA tournament seasons. He's never had 3 straight without going. Williams missing on the turnaround, and Cartello starts the Boilermaker break. It's McKnight, bit of a force, and very short off the glass, but he follows it up.
Bill Self admits the fact that the #1 weakness of his team, they don't rebound the ball very well at either end of the court.
Straight on look at a 3 is ended out for Head. And it's McKnight picked up by Brown. Booker saw Cartello cutting, didn't give him a very good feed. Williams looks up, alley-oop too tall for Head. You may see 3 or 4 of those tonight. Bill Self has lost only once in Assembly Hall in his 3rd year.
Versus Michigan State, I believe.
Michigan State, the only team to beat him here, 16-1 in Big Ten play.
Gene Katie said he's not afraid to go up and down the court in a high-scoring game versus Illinois. I'm not sure that's such a good idea. This place really is a place where the Illini feel very comfortable playing a high-scoring game.
Head clean behind Booker, but the inside contact will be called. Gene Katie in his 23rd year at Purdue. 2nd all-time in Big Ten wins. Won the conference 6 times. And remarkable when you add up, while he has been at Purdue, the other Big Ten schools together have gone through 38 coaches.
Yeah, my impression of, by the way, I don't do impressions, but my thoughts on Gene Katie, he has always had the most physical defense in the entire league.
This year giving up only about 64 points per game. Head inside, Augustine on the reverse.
Did you see that? Oh, man. You see, Sean Harrington's a great shooter, but he cannot break down a defense like that.
McKnight shows and goes high off the glass. And Brandon with 4. Purdue early, keeping the crowd very quiet. With a 1-point lead. Brown sees the side open wide up for him. And the McDonald's All-America, the reigning Illinois Mr. Basketball.
I'm a little bit surprised because we've heard so much about the pressure defense for Purdue, but it's been more like a sieve. The perimeter guys getting to the lane at will so far for the Illini.
McKnight from Booker. Any of 3 Illinois ball handlers can trigger the break. Head, Williams, Brown. Sometimes they all will. 3-point look. Brown in and out. Both teams continue to run every opportunity. Low with some contact and not called. 2 on 3. Head from Williams. Right up with it, a confident 3. 11-7 Illini. Who last week fell from 8th to 15th with the 2 losses. Still just 3 losses on the year. They won their first 8. One of their best starts in several years. Included in that, they were the team that somewhat exposed North Carolina, blew them out here at home right after North Carolina had debuted so successfully in the NIT. Cartello transferred from Notre Dame. Makes it 11-9.
See if they try to get something in the low post with Brian Cook.
Cartello called for his first. 14:47 first half. Fast pace so far. 11-9 for number 15 Illinois.
Big Monday, Super Tuesday, ACC Wednesday, every week on ESPN.
There are over 100,000 firms that prepare taxes. How do you choose the right one? Look for a guarantee. With H&R Block's Satisfaction Guarantee, you don't pay until you're completely satisfied. It's one tax advantage we should all enjoy.
January 31st.
Would I have to kill anyone? Would you like to?
Get recruited.
Welcome to CIA. Nothing is what it seems.
Al Pacino.
Do not get caught.
Colin Farrell.
If you are compromised, you're dead.
Yeah! The Recruit. Rated PG-13.
Chili?
Chili? You look downright cold.
No, a bowl of chili?
Yes! Let me get my boots. We'll go to Wendy's.
Wendy's 99-cent super value menu has delicious chili and hot baked potatoes. Wendy's, the best 99 cents you can spend.
So, set up a department meeting for tomorrow and put in a call to the client. Get them up to speed. Anything else?
Here's a thought. Instead of saving money by not using paper, we could just go to Staples.
Yeah, with Staples 365 savings, they compare prices and back it up with a 110% price match guarantee.
I like that. Jot that down.
Low prices on every item every day. Staples 365 savings. Savings made easy.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball, brought to you by H&R Block and H&R Block Financial Advisors.
11-9 Purdue. Dave Barnett's in McCormick in Champaign. 2 years in a row of disappointment for Gene Katie. And he took steps, Tim, last spring to make sure it wouldn't be 3 years in a row.
Yeah, they actually had a European trip planned, and they had 2 weeks of practice. Willie Dean shows up for the first practice, and he says, I couldn't believe it. There were no basketballs out there. They went 2 straight weeks, no basketballs, no shooting. It was all conditioning and defense-oriented drills. They ran the stadium stairs. It was all about developing that toughness and that mindset that we're going to play like a group of junkyard dogs, and we've seen it translate into a lot better offense, too.
And then once they got to Europe and went to 3 different countries, stayed together for several weeks at a time, they really developed some camaraderie, he thinks, that has carried over into this season's 11-3 start.
We didn't think that Gene Katie actually forgot how to coach defense the last 2 years.
Lightning quick. Brian Cook turnaround with a foul. First points for the preseason Big Ten Player of the Year.
You know, I want you to focus on the defense. There's a lot of attention being covered on Brian Cook. He's a matchup nightmare. And you saw they're trying to slide over and help out as much as they possibly can. But at 6'10", he can score, he can find his teammates, and he's going to give you 20 and 10 regardless of what the defense does.
And he'll block your shot and he'll hit a 3 over you.
Not a whole lot Brian Cook can't do.
A lot of man-to-man both ways. Probably sprinkle in a little zone later for some variety.
D. Brown a little too aggressive out on the perimeter, chasing Brandon McKnight. Well, the 2003 Australian Open from Melbourne Park continues to roll towards the championship of the first Grand Slam of the season. Tonight, ESPN2 has the women's semifinals live following our game. Number 1, Serena Williams. Number 4, Kim Clijsters. Number 2, Venus Williams against number 5 seed Justine Henin-Hardin. Right after we conclude from Champaign.
Looks like another Williams-Williams battle.
Headed that way. This call again on Illinois, and it just took Nick Smith a few seconds to pick up his first foul after Bill Self got him in off the bench, the tallest player in school history at 7'2".
Checking into the Purdue lineup.
And some of the depth now for Purdue. They have 11 players averaging double-figure minutes. So Dean and McKnight come out. Brett Busher, Austin Parkinson, Demetrius Kilgore, all off Gene Katie's ample bench. And that depth and the size they have, 4 players 6'10" or bigger.
One thing I want you to notice is that Chris Booker is 31, and he's the best low post scorer, maybe the second best in the Big Ten behind Brian Cook. Every time he catches it down low, Bill Self is sending 2, maybe 3 defenders. That's how much respect they have. Now notice it right there.
Couldn't get that one over Smith. Booker coming off a career game, 27 Saturday at Penn State. Yes, Katie, that surprised him as he scored more than Katie expected. He said 27, yeah, I don't expect that. 15 tonight, he can do that easy. He'll help Darren Williams up off the bench after the foul by Kenneth Lowe.
Bill Self talked today to Darren Williams about the opportunities he has to make the hustle plays for the Illini. You know, the guys that are featured this year are Brian Cook and D. Brown, to a lesser extent Harrington. Darren Williams has to play the role of floor general. Get guys involved, make the extra pass, grab a few rebounds, and the number one thing that Bill Self is looking for from Brown and Williams is a little bit more dribble drive to kick out to Harrington and to get some loose shots for the big guys.
Martello back in for Booker. Williams was 4 of 13 for the year from the free throw line. So unusual to see him drain 2 in a row. It's a 10-2 Illini run as Darren takes the break with a 7-point lead.
Noticing a lot of easy hoops so far, and as we mentioned, we're sending all this love to the Purdue defense, but so far they have been very porous, leaving open the open shooters.
Busher open. He'll chase down his own miss. And now to Austin Parkinson, last year's starting point guard. Busher, 0 for 2. Sean Harrington makes his first appearance, the top three-point shooter in the league at 51%. Head to try a 3. His second tonight. And a whistle before the throwdown for the layup to Busher. They had already called timeout. 19-9 Illini. The run now 13-2. That getting the Orange Crush into it. 8 unanswered points for Illinois.
You know, when I look at what we're seeing offensively from Brian Cook, I really like to compare him to the other power guys in the nation. And when you're talking about who's going to be first-team All-American, each of these guys, in my eyes, is dead even right now. Now, when you look at Brian, what you're thinking of is the ability to do multiple things. Austin and Dudley in the SEC have a chance to score and rebound. West is very versatile, like Collison and Cook. Sweetney's a power guy, plays like Elton Brand. And maybe my favorite, and the guy I think is going to be an outstanding pro, is Emeka Okafor, because he blocks the shots as well.
Purdue really needing a bucket here. And a fast start. It has withered away. They don't get a bucket. They get stripped by Harrington. Leads it ahead, head to Smith, off Augustine. Smith picks it up, stripped by Cartello. And Head knocks it out of his hands.
Dave, the biggest thing that Gene Cady is doing to improve the defense is using the bench as a tool. Willie Dean was not getting it done on the defensive end, so where does he find himself? Sitting with his friends.
And Dean getting just 26 minutes per game. Part of the depth that Cady enjoys means he has the luxury of sitting even his best scorer when a message needs to be sent.
Yeah, earlier this year was the first time it was versus Arizona State, and he sat down Willie Dean because he didn't like the defense. He sit down a few times, the message is sent.
Tied up, stays on this end.
Scrambling defense, gang tackling, getting ready for the Super Bowl. Get that macho mindset. Willie Dean back in, and his attitude's got to be more defensive than offensive.
Also back will be Booker. He'll come up with Cartello. Purdue just 31%, 4 of 13, 58% for the Illini, 7 of 12. Lowe gets it back from Booker. A 3 from the corner is short. 8 unanswered, 13-2 intact at the moment for the Illini. Williams, what a move on the baseline, and threw it away.
Notice how the offense for Illinois, a little bit confusing with Brian Cook on the bench. Everything they do at both ends has him at the center.
Dean, tough leaner, offensive foul, says Ted Valentine. Ted Hillary says, I've got a block, so they're going to have to talk it over.
Yeah, and they made the call simultaneously. Slow motion's going to help us out. It depends, because if you call the foul on Nick Smith, yeah, I can see the reach in. And if you look at it the other way and think that Harrington had his feet set, very difficult call.
Difficult enough that they come over for
That was ruled as a double foul. Number
conference and decide they're going to call it a double foul.
0 for Purdue, Willie Dean.
On Dean. And I believe they put it on Harrington.
I don't think that I have ever seen this call before. Watch it closely. They're going to call a charge and a reach-in.
I know I've never seen it. So a Solomon-like decision, maybe. 19-9 Illinois with a timeout.
Done all the ball in this first half, but Syracuse well balanced. We'd really like to see if they can continue into that locker room with the momentum they built up in this first half.
They've found some success crashing the offensive glass. Jerry McNamara has hit 3 triples.
A lot of motion here against the Pirates' man-to-man defense.
Dwayne on the drive, and is bodied up. He'll head to the line.
The Pirates have just had a very difficult time stopping Syracuse as this half has worn on. Dwayne getting involved now. Good perimeter action with McNamara. And it's really been a field day for Warwick inside, so good balance by the Orange.
Syracuse now 6 for 9.5 at the line. Went is 3 of 3. We were tied at 15. And since then, it's been all Syracuse. Full court pressure here with the shot clock now off to end the half.
Nice play to bat that ball down to Barrett.
Barrett keeps it. McNeil hounds it into the floor.
Oh, wow. Forget about that one. That's a message block. I'll give Barrett credit for taking it all the way, but McNeil just didn't bite. That was a windmill job. Still got time to get a shot off, though. You need penetration right away.
Barrett, the dish to Whitney for the lay-in.
Nicely done.
And a whistle and a foul right at the end of the half.
And the rest of the Spartans doing some damage on Penn State. He's got 20 already. They lead big. Dave and Tim, back to you.
Well, welcome medicine for a Michigan State team that has really been struggling with the lack of a true point guard, players playing out of position. What they needed was to go home and get Penn State. Head trying for his third three, and he missed everything. Well, we are scouring our rule book, trying to come up with an interpretation of what they just called. Neither one of us has ever seen that as Lowe connects from the corner. It's always either a charge or a block. They called both. They called Harrington and they called Dean. In a moment, we'll show it to you and try and interpret along with it. Lowe, the best defender Purdue has. Maybe the best, certainly for his size in the Big Ten. So they try and keep him on Harrington and deny him the threes. Cook will take one, though. Busher went after it along with Augustine. We got a timeout call. Nice headlong dive. All right, I've got it under Rule 1021. E4, the double personal foul. We'll show it to you, and you will see a little bit of a hip check, a little lean in by Harrington. What do you see from Dean?
Well, the play right here, it's got to be these two guys right here because that's where the primary contact is. The question is, does Harrington slide in? Yeah, Smith came in late, but I see that as an A and a B play between Harrington and Dean.
In the book, just seemingly unprecedented. College Hoops Tonight, bringing you up to date. All the news and highlights from around the country every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12:30 a.m. Eastern tonight. Reese Davis and Jay Billis will have highlights of our game as well as Maryland, North Carolina, everything else around the Big Ten. Michigan putting its 4-0 record on the line tonight against Minnesota in Ann Arbor.
Very impressed with the spacing so far by Illinois. The patience as well. Purdue is still an untested defense. Can they go the full shot clock?
Just into the game, Roger Powell has it tipped up and in by Luther Head.
Every time I see Luther, a couple of times, he's going to make some of those wow plays where you just kind of sit back and say wow, and that was one of them right there.
And he's saying wow right here. How'd they call that on him? His second.
Number 2 on head.
He's hit a pair of threes and just electric when he gets ahead of steam and can go attack the rim as he just did.
10-point early bulge for Illinois. And the biggest reason, Purdue loves the speed game, but in a half court, they're pretty average. And so far, by scoring the ball, Illinois has made Purdue walk it up and play half court.
Dean for a three-pointer. Just 2 so far for Dean, just 1 for Booker. Alley-oop. And another tip in. Augustine with 6. And the lead grows to 12. Low inside, a great look, and Booker hammers it in. From Tyler Junior College in Texas, former Fort Worth Player of the Year, 6'10". One of the best JUCO recruits in a little while for Gene Cade. Steve Brown back on the floor. Illinois really convinced they can go with the high-low over Busher, and they threw it away for their 4th turnover.
He'll replace number 3, Busher.
You know, Chris Booker signed with Purdue and immediately started scouting the Big Ten big men, and he kept a close eye on Bryant Cook and calls this kind of his signature game. He said that he knows when he plays against the best, it's a chance to build his reputation. And as I said earlier, I think that next year, Chris Booker will be the best big man in the Big Ten.
Good start here with a second chance basket. He's got the last 4 for Purdue. Get it down to 8. Just the 3rd game this year for the Boilermakers on an opponent's home floor. They lost their first. They won at Happy Valley Saturday afternoon. Powell guarded by Lowe.
You know, it had been 24 months since the last time that Purdue won an away game in the Big Ten.
That just seems impossible. Cook counted. A chance for his second three-point play. Matt Kiefer with the foul.
Mrs. Cook looking on, enjoying the work of her son, who I call the Big Ten's version of unstoppable. Good footwork, nice patience. And I look at Jared Jeffries last year around this time, and some people said, is he a lottery pick in the NBA? And the question was unanswered until he took his team to the Final Four. Then the answer was yes. Same kind of scenario with Brian Cook.
Very crowded inside for Dean. Cook looks up, has Brown. And a whistle way back down the floor. Valentine says, get your hand off me, son.
Foul is on Purdue, number 0.
This is number 2 on Willie Dean.
Now, beautiful delivery. Good help defense, 2-on-1. And now watch here on the pass. There's an elbow on Willie Dean. And looking back on it, probably a pretty good foul because it stopped the fast break. But it's a bad foul from the standpoint that Willie Dean's going to go sit down.
You think that the jury is going to stay out on Cook until a long NCAA tournament run?
Well, I think right now he's borderline between lottery and non-lottery. And if you do good stuff in the NCAA tournament, the NBA looks at that and says, yeah, it's another element to his game. He's a winner that can elevate his squad.
Offensive foul, Roger Powell turns it right back over after the timeout. 7:52 in the first half, Illinois by 11.
Taking on Maryland, and the Terps just don't care. Block shot in transition. Here they come. Drew Nicholas had 15 in the first half. Terps taking care of the heels. Dave and Tim, back to you.
Very much as Illinois did to the Tar Heels here in Champaign. Sold out Assembly Hall, and most very happy with the first half so far with just under 8 minutes to go. All Illinois, 26-15.
You get the sense that this is like a scheduling loss when you, at the beginning of the season, you don't figure Purdue's going to come in here and win, but the way they are now 3-0, they feel like an NCAA team. I wonder if Gene Katie has told his guys that if you win this game, rather than NCAA hopes, you're thinking you could win a Big Ten title. What do you think?
Anybody that wins here can think in those terms, I think.
And then you'd be 4-0.
Kiefer gets a timeout call. You'd be 4-0, but you would be just the second team in 3 years to win here.
This is a 30-second
And Michigan State a couple of years back, one of their Final Four runs included a win here.
Yeah. Having played in the Big Ten, I know that Bobby Knight has the intimidation reputation, but I was always a guy that loved Knight. And from my standpoint, it was always Gene Katie that intimidated me. You know, he rips the jacket off, and it seemed like I always knew exactly where Gene Katie was on the court. Very intimidating guy.
Even as an opposing player?
Oh, yeah. More so than Knight, even.
Off the court, very different picture, though.
Yeah, and his practices, he's so calm. He teaches. Very good guy.
Tough time inbounding. And Brandon McKnight.
That's got to be a travel. There you go.
Pounded into the turnover by Brown.
Got some speed right there. McKnight and Brown, a couple jets.
One thing these coaches have in common is the degree of teaching that goes on in their practice sessions. Very seldom will you hear a raised voice unless it is absolutely called for. Basketball laboratory. Booker trying to strip Brian Cook, and that's his second.
Yeah, that was a little post-basketball 101, an introductory level class for Chris Booker.
17 fouls against
Footwork is so good, and Gene Katie's got to be talking to his staff about, you know, we've got to get physical and bump Cook off the block, because if you let him catch it down there that low, he's either going to score, draw a foul, or get somebody an open look.
Brian Cook, along with Rick Rickard of Minnesota, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, missing the front end here. And one of the recent Big Ten Player of the Week honorees, Willie Dean, co-Big Ten Player of the Week this past week, along with Michigan's terrific freshman guard, Daniel Horton, who has spearheaded their run to the top. Tough look for McKnight, in and out. Kiefer with the rebound. And foul before he can follow it up.
Offensive rebounding is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on because these teams shoot a lot of threes. They're very aggressive, and there will be a lot of missed shots.
Australian Open continues from Melbourne Park. Exactly as we finish here, we will go down for the women's semifinals. You'll get to see Serena and Venus. Serena against Kim Clijsters, number 4 seed. Venus takes on the 5th seed, Justine Henin-Harden. Women's semis from Australia, the first Grand Slam event of the year.
Matt Kiefer, good-looking young player, serving his apprenticeship, gets about 10 to 15 minutes per game. Purdue people feel that down the road you may see him bulk up a bit and appear more like a Brad Miller. Pretty good ball skills for a young big man.
26-17. Hounding defense by David Teague, a freshman who creates a turnover, but Williams takes it right back. Gets it over to a Brown three-pointer. Just as Purdue thinks maybe we've stopped some bleeding here, a quick turnover, a tray by D. Brown, is 35th of the year, and they're right back down by 12. The Illini match their big lead of the game. Kenneth Lowe taking it in on Augustine, Williams, and Smith. And they'll call Darren Williams for his first.
Williams, number 5. First foul on Williams.
Notice in transition, great hustle by Williams coming back. That's just a young play, and you have to remember that this Purdue squad, 7 out of their 11 guys that play are new to the program. They've not played a lot of basketball together. Down the road, as we get in the home stretch of the Big Ten season, I don't think you'll see that same turnover. Low at the line, probably the barometer guy for Purdue. He may be the best perimeter defender in the entire Big Ten. And look at those free throws.
Second best free throw shooter of the Big Ten. He had a streak of 28 in a row on Saturday. He is 16 of 17 in conference play. Add another to that total. 92% for the year.
Now, you may think that Purdue is falling away and they've got no chance. 11 times this year, they have made a comeback or made a run of at least 10 points. So they are a team capable of comebacks. Nick Smith, shoelaces untied. I don't know how that will impact the play, but let's keep an eye.
There are no problem so far.
Nick Smith.
He may have something here.
That could be his version of Pete Maravich's socks. Probably not, though. That's dangerous out there. I don't think he's aware either.
Oh, he knows.
Trip himself or others.
I mean, on those size 18 feet, those things are flopping around like ropes.
David Teague stripped by Brown and taken right back by Lowe. 2 terrific defensive plays. Teague inside. Kiefer with the jump hook and no. Busher held off by Williams.
That was almost like a 3-on-2 fast break within the half court.
Williams turning it over to McKnight. 7th turnover. David Teague, a 43% three-point threat. 6th best in the Big Ten. McKnight sees the middle open up briefly. Back outside, and it's Busher from 17.
Passed by Brett Busher.
Busher, key to the win last week at home over Michigan State. He had 12 off the bench. His first 2 here gets him back within 10.
You know, what's the NCAA record for the longest time playing in one duration with your shoe untied?
May be seeing it. Busher from McKnight, and fouled, almost an undercut foul by Brown.
Basket is good by Busher.
His second, he could just have, well, backed off. No way he was going to stop Busher, and finally, Smith gets a chance to tend to business.
Harrington and Cook sitting down are Augustine and
As I watch Busher, I think of Brian Cardinal. Kind of the same physicality, maybe even a better body than Brian did. Still has a lot of developing to do in terms of basketball smarts, but the last couple games in the Big Ten, he has really elevated Purdue's offense with his effort. He runs, he's capable of making J's, and You got to love the strength.
Busher off the bench lately, a starter first few weeks of the season. No three-point play, but Kilgore steals the offensive rebound.
By the way, the report on Nick Smith's shoelace, double knot, he's okay.
That's good to know. Now he's got Busher to contend with, and Busher called for the charge. Backed into Nick. And Busher outweighs Smith, even though he gives up 6 inches in that matchup.
There's Mr. Cardinal, Rod Cardinal, father of Washington Wizards forward Bryant Cardinal. This would have been a very emotional game for him. Son playing for Purdue a few years back. Dad, trainer for Illinois.
Landon Ferguson, 6'3" senior. Down low, Cook. Busher with good position. Still Illinois ball. 3:42, first half. Illinois by as many as 12. They've held Willie Dean to just 2. And they lead by 8.
Have lots to discuss. Lots of winning streaks on the line in college basketball. Also, the amazing turnaround Tommy Emiker has done at Michigan. All that's coming up at the half. Plus, a huge battle in the SEC tonight. Auburn and Kentucky, a battle of 2 unbeatens. Keith Bogans doing his part as the Wildcats trying to make it 8 straight wins and stop Auburn's 9-game winning streak. He has 10. Kentucky by 7 at the break. Dave and Tim.
All right, minutes away from Ray and Jay at the half. 3:40 and counting. Illinois, 8-point lead. Shot clock winding down. And Harrington spotting Luther head. Tried to hit Smith. Takes it right back from Melvin Buckley, who had just come into the game. Offensive foul.
Yeah, cleaning out the alley there. Very physical basketball inside. Now, what you're going to see is the shot clock was turned around, so they had the entire shot clock. I don't think Luther Head knew it, and that's why he forced the action. As Brian Cook that actually cleared the alley.
Nick Smith called for his second. And Purdue now in the double bonus. They're a good free throw shooting team. But Willie Dean still on the bench, still with only 2 points. And it's hard to see Purdue sustaining a threat in this game with only cursory contribution, if that, from their leading scorer. That's all they've gotten so far. Kilgore matched with Harrington. And a 3-second violation for the latest Illinois turnover. College hoops tonight, 12:30 a.m. Eastern this evening. It's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All the news and highlights from around the country. Reese Davis and Jay Billis tonight.
I was getting my nightly fix of college hoops night last night. Listen to Jay Billis and Andy Katz talk about the Ohio State-Indiana game that you did, and they referenced how the referees did such a good job controlling a volatile situation.
McKnight hits the floater. It was as good a job by an officiating crew as I've seen in many years, considering what could have happened. Ferguson and Augustine both with a hand on it. Purdue now with a 6-point deficit and a chance to run and get it down to 4. Lowe will go to the line, Mr. Automatic. And a big smile after he draws the blocking foul on Harrington.
Bill Self said at shoot-around today that Kenny Lowe is the heart and soul of the Purdue team. In transition, this is where they get their best work done. The Illinois fans felt that he may have dragged that pivot foot. I think it's a great idea for Lowe to get aggressive, though, because when you shoot free throws as well as he does, you've got to manufacture attempts. Currently, he only gets the line about 4 times, and that's not enough.
Boy, Bill Self letting him hear it.
See that face? Veins popping. A little red in color. Looks like he's been out in the sun for the first time in the spring.
Trey Wingo and Jay Billis coming up. The college basketball halftime report. We'll look in on that Maryland-North Carolina matchup on ESPN right now. The Michigan turnaround and from a 6-loss start to an 11-game winning streak. One of the best stories in the country. And all the other action around the top 25.
calm down a little bit. He's going for his 5th straight league championship. Won 2 at Tulsa in the WAC. Won 2 his first 2 years here at Illinois, and he's in great position to win number 3 in a row.
First Illini coach since 1912. Or as a matter of fact, first Big Ten coach since 1912 to win Big Ten titles his first 2 years. This now a 10-2 run for the Boilers. And a 12-point lead just about gone. Purdue doing this without Dean. Alley-oop, and Augustine can't finish. So it's all going wrong at the moment for the Illini, but Kilgore bails him out with a walk.
You know, this is an A-plus message to send to the Purdue team, that they took Willie Dean out. They used him as a measuring stick of what Gene Cady expects, and what do? They come on a great comeback.
High low again, Booker and Augustine touched it last. So you like to see that too. Willie Dean smiling, cheering on the rally, even though he's not a part of it. That's pretty unusual. Leading scorer in the league last year, and not a part of this, but understands the bigger picture.
It was very, very unusual, but Gene Cady said, when we get way down, I pull Willie Dean because he tries to do things by himself. That's the reason he's sitting.
Augustine gets that layup. A minute 18. Back to a 6-point game.
A lot of motion here. Spread the court. Not a bad team off the dribble. They're very creative, can go left or right.
Busher driving Augustine. Spin move. There's Cook to block his path and cause him to travel.
He made a quick spin, and the only thing he saw was a 3 and a 4. Some pretty good ball handling, but look at Augustine turning him, and look at that. Oh, yep, there's a 3 and a 4.
There's the ceiling. Busher, a guy that just doesn't look right without stitches somewhere. Kind of like Tom Coverdale.
Yeah, and you know that Gene Cady likes to see blood and bruises on his players.
Final 45 seconds. Open in the corner. Ferguson. And Williams battling with Kilgore. Williams touched it last. So Purdue can get most of that 38 seconds off the clock. And they have done well. It could well have been a blowout already. They several times fell down by 12, had it down to 4 and the ball. And then the Kilgore travel intervened.
Gene Cady has a deep playbook. They usually bring 5 or 6 different sets, NBA-type sets per game, and they mix that in with their motion. Spread the court. And I really like Brandon McKnight in these situations because he's jet quick and he's got a great handle.
5 to shoot. Kilgore, fall away, tough shot, and he nailed it. His only basket of the game. McKnight steals, he inbounds at the buzzer, just off. So they almost get 5 points in the last couple of seconds of the first half. As it is, they cut a 12-point lead to 4. 33-29 at the half. Trey and Jay for the college basketball halftime report. Gilchrist hits a pair. 54 to 55 to 41. 10:48 to go in the ball game. 0 for 9. You can't do it by yourself. Holden backs in, got caught up in the air, and they're going to call a foul on Damian Grant.
Joe Lindsay calls the foul, going to put him on the line for 2. Grant trying to get some playing time here. Big kid learning how to play.
And he's learning how to play with 2 knees that are very painful from tendonitis. Felton now on the bench, so no one on the floor for North Carolina has scored in the second half in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So somebody's got to step up.
Somebody got to step up big time. Maryland, I'll tell you what, keeping them in the game on that line. They're 0 for 5 on the free throw line.
McCants had 14 in the first half. Has not scored in the second.
0 for 6, Mike. What is it? I've been 0 for 6, man. I'm going to go out there and shoot those
Actually,
free
2
throws.
for 8, but 3 guys are 0 for 6.
Oh, okay. 3 guys 0 for 6, 2 for 8 as a team.
That's right.
We found 2 others. Thanks for bailing me out. I made an error. You bailed me out, my partner.
Well, it's the first one in the last 10 years, so I was happy to do it. Carolina can't save it.
You know, Carolina suffered such a tough break on that foot injury. On December 27th in a holiday festival, they lose to Iona. Matt Doherty, I mean, his heart had a drop when Sean May went down. That was a tournament that was won by Bobby Gonzalez and Manhattan, one of the rising young stars in coaching.
McCray had it blocked twice. The Heels got it back over on the end line, and the ball goes to Carolina.
The one thing I like about Maryland is their depth. They got people coming off the bench who can contribute. When you talk about Gilchrist, Kaner Medley, you talk about kids coming off that bench.
They've
like
got 11
Smith.
guys who can play, Dick.
They really do. So does Texas. I talked to Rick Barnes the other day.
Smith, that one is blocked by Damian Grant. Talk about a guy who can really get up. And then Felton lost control and lost it out of bounds. 11 turnovers for the Heels.
Damian Graham is really hurting physically, trying to get up and down the floor. Great block by Damian on the inside. I love shot blockers. They give you such a special dimension on the inside. Make people go to the perimeter.
He played in a couple of 3-minute spurts against Virginia. He looked like one of the best inside players you'd ever seen.
Yeah, I know. You told me about that. You said the spurt was incredible.
But that's all he can play. He gives you 2-3 minutes, and then he's got to sit down. Doesn't practice all that much because of the tendonitis. Gilchrist, the shot clock at 8. Gives it up. McCray. He got caught up in the air. Here comes McCants. 2-on-1. Back to McCants. Fouled on the way up by Gilchrist.
That was a great look by Raymond Felton. I tell you, Felton's so unselfish. Gives the ball back in a little 2-on-1 sequence. Stay a little bit wider than the lane. Make it difficult for one guy to play 2. Now watch the unselfishness. Now right back. Give and go. Right back to McCants.
McCants will go to the line trying to become the first Heel other than Felton to score in the second half. And we've got 9:09 to go in the game.
Loves Michael Jordan.
And where's Felton? Felton just got back in the ballgame after he got a brief.
North Carolina's going to have
who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to make something happen with their defense as Blake is coming back in the game now at 9 minutes on the clock, plus 13. Team did a good job while he went to that sideline.
He still needs 3 more assists tonight to become number 4 all-time in the ACC, behind those 3 guys who had gone over 1,000.
We're seeing so many milestones. I mean, we got Jody Conrad in Texas now going for 800th win in coaching. Roy Williams got his 400th, the former North Carolina assistant.
Pat Summitt got her 800th, the first woman ever to do it.
Bobby Knight getting close.
Holden, who has range, missed that shot. Here comes Felton trying to push it.
He plays so hard, Felton. That's what I like about him. He may make mistakes, but he plays with his heart, his soul. He has such passion.
And he's not a hot dog either.
No, he loves to compete.
Felton kicks it outside to Jawad Williams.
His dad saw Phil Ford play during that era and said, my son's going to be a Tar Heel like Mr. Ford.
The first field goal in over 5 minutes for the Tar Heels. Jawad Williams drains one from the baseline. Carolina just won't go away. They cut it to 10.
And Matt Doherty's a cheerleader on that sideline. Trying to excite this crowd. He gave us spurts.
Steve Blake for 3 comes off the bench and buries one.
He's rested. I tell you one thing, he's a dangerous shooter. Some people would say suspect shooter. He's a very dangerous shooter. I think he can play with somebody at the next level coming off the bench for a team. Back to sum it up.
Williams with a runner, doesn't get the bounce, and Jamar Smith with a rebound. One and done again for the Heels.
Let's look at Blake, head up at all times. Wow, you think he's going to have 1,000 points and 1,000 assists. Only 3 other guys have 1,000 assists in NCAA competition and all play in the ACC.
And boy, were they great players.
Forciani, Hurley, and Cota.
Chris Forciani, the all-time leader. You know, he averaged almost 8.5 assists for his career.
He used to have such control of the ball. He and his buddy Rodney Monroe.
Rodney Monroe.
What a backcourt tandem they were for Jimmy V.
7:43 to go, 58-45, Terps. And Dick, you said it was like the museum when you came in here. It sure is. You can, for people who have followed North Carolina or the ACC or even college basketball in general for a long time,
It's
You
incredible.
can tell so many stories down here about so many great players.
I brought my buddies with me tonight. They were just in all walking around. My buddies from Sarasota, John Moran, and I said, I got to get their name on TV. My buddies John Moran, his buddy Scott Dunlap, Tom Niederfuhr.
Is this free legal work for you? Is that how that works?
Three good guys, man. They love their hoops. That's Steve Blake, the orchestra leader. He's the catalyst. He's the guy that's going to create opportunities for his teammates. There it is.
Felton gives it up to Holden Nicholas out of the corner. Too strong. Offensive rebound. Foul won't go. And Williams comes out with it.
North Carolina.
Oh, nice steal by Nicholas. Great anticipation. 1-on-3. Nicholas. Offensive foul.
Yeah, then a little bit out of control. He knows better than that. Look at a phone call from his brother Chris, who played at Colgate. He called him up after the Wake Forest game when he struggled. He said, relax, forget about it. I read that in an article by Josh Barr in the Washington Post. His brother now a financial planner. There he is. Nicholas going to take it to a goal. His brother's watching, saying, that's my guy. That's my brother, man. And that is a charge. Up we go the other way.
Jawad Williams made up for his mistake by sacrificing his body.
Mike, what a heartbreaking week it's been for Larry Shyatt and Jim Calhoun. Connecticut and Clemson losing heartbreakers.
Scott for three. One and done. Scott, a 36% long-range shooter, had a good look but couldn't hit it.
He's been really solid off the bench. He's had great moments. Been 5 for 7 shooting the three against Davidson. Melvin Scott can give him point production. He was a starter a lot last year.
Clock starting to work in Maryland's favor. Holden has range. All at once, the Terps have gone cold, and they're not getting many easy looks.
They got to give him a chance.
Scott again. Got this one.
That's what I meant. He can shoot the three, man. He can get you back in the game. It's down to 10. They got to get a stop here and get into single digits, and this place will absolutely explode.
Holden backing in, lost the ball in the lane. On the floor, jump ball, possession arrow gives it back to Maryland.
Now
College Hoops tonight brings you up to date on all the news and highlights from around the country. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. Reese Davis and Jay Billis have all the action tonight. It's at 12:30.
Now you
think there's a rule we both hate.
Yeah, now you make a great play defensively and you get penalized.
Sure, the other team gets the ball back. Nicholas out of the corner, a backbreaker.
Nicholas makes the big play, and that's what you expect out of your senior, your leading scorer.
18 points for Nicholas.
I'll point out a rule I like to see utilized in college basketball when we get a moment.
Williams open from the baseline and got it set up by Felton.
Felton made the great dish, got him the shot. He knocks it down. I'd just like to see, Mike, in the last 2 minutes of a game, if it's a game-changing situation, I had a game recently, Oklahoma
go for that one. Smith works his way in, can't hit the shot. Carolina ball.
Here comes the momentum now. They got to get a deuce in this possession. He's a shake and bake guy, Mr. Felton.
Williams into McCray, and he's held before the shot. Or McCann's held by McCray. One on McCray.
They got to get this in single digits and really get this place going. Time is starting to run down. Down 10 with 5:17 on the clock. Every possession becomes big and bigger. This is a big possession right here.
Sanders. He's rejected, but Williams is there for the foul.
Williams picks up the loose ball. They're back in the game, my friend. They're back in the game.
Grabbed the stat sheet, crumbled it up, and threw it against the wall. He said that the #1 thing he looks at is rebounds. He expects to be +3 at halftime. They're actually down 2, and I'm not convinced this Illini team has been aggressive on the boards.
Purdue starts the second half with an offensive rebound by Willie Dean, a follow, and a three-point opportunity.
You know, the first half, Darren Williams knows that with their pressure defense, there's opportunities to the rim. Also, Luther Head is a killer athlete. He impacted the game with his triple. And now with Willie Dean on the bench, they're looking for some offense. Darmetrius Kilgore broke down the defense. You know, Willie Dean is such a strong player. You see him slapping the floor, sending a message to coach. All right, I'm with you guys now. I'm going to bring the defense. You know, if he brings the defense, Dave, you know what you're going to get?
What are you going to get?
Points.
Offense off defense.
Yes, when he defends, his whole game's energized.
Cook out to Williams and back inside for the turnaround. Back iron, Dean all over the floor the first minute here in the second half. An offensive rebound followed by a three-point play, followed by a defensive rebound for Dean, who played only half the first half. Sad after he picked up his second foul. Booker trying to thread that to Dean, off Cartello, not expecting it. So a 1-point Illinois lead. And Tim, you pointed out in the first half too something to watch for: Purdue's ability to run off spurts. That's out of bounds off Dean.
Yeah, I had made the comment that they're very aggressive after the ball. Now, Willie Dean grabs that rebound. He already has 2 in the second half alone, and it shows you his ability. Versus Michigan State, Gene Caney said, look, I need some guard rebounding. So what's he do? He goes out there and grabs 12. That's his career high. It's a big number for a guard.
First double-double of his career. Luther head short, but tipped out for a three-point try by Williams. Darren with 7. Head and Augustine leading scorers for Illinois. They have 8 apiece. Cook only 6 in the first half. And Illinois back up 4. Last time down, Purdue had a chance to take the lead. Booker comes up short, not having a big game tonight. Spinning into a block by Dean, not a goaltend. Amazing it wasn't. 3-on-1 the other way, no basket. Offensive foul. Booker has 3.
Yeah. I think that Dee Brown is going to have a deep highlight reel by the time he leaves Champaign. But right there, well, that's some elevation by Willie Dean. And the message sent from Gene Caney is I need better effort at the defensive end. Message sent and received.
Message received loud and clear. It's some of the best plays he's made all year in the first 2 minutes of this second half.
Hey, talk about some defense. How about some offense? Look at that.
Augustine blocked by Cartello. And it'll go the other way. Ivan Cartello, who's had his offensive problems, a couple of would-be layups, playing it off his hands, but comes up big defensively. Low, a three-pointer. They're back within 1. 9 for Lowe. He leads the Boilers.
Hey, this is good stuff going on right here. I'm not sure what the coaches said, but I guess there weren't a lot of hugs and compliments going on at halftime.
Not much love. Pointed lessons. And they have been received.
A lot of fronting going on in the low post. They definitely don't want Cook to catch the ball on the block. You notice Cook is going to make the move to get outside.
Williams, another 3 from the same spot. And again, they're up 4. Cartello looking low. Busher tangled up with Brian Cook, and this will be Cook's second. Looking for a hold. Last year here, it was Purdue dominating early. Katie at one point had a 27-11 lead. They shot 67% for the first half. Tonight they're just 38%. But they lost 69-67. That's as close as anyone's come, other than the win here by Michigan State a couple of years ago, the only home loss in the Bill Self era, now going on 3 years.
As I recall, Willie Dean had a 3 at the buzzer that could have beat Illinois.
That was on number 5.
This is on Darren Williams, and that's his 3rd.
Now, one thing I want you to notice here is when there's overplaying, the guy to watch is the back cut. It's a little Princeton basketball. Notice the pass, the delivery. Now, watch the help underneath from Cartello. Helps and then help. Called help the helper right there, and that block shot acted as an outlet pass.
Cartello put it on the deck, almost lost it to Williams, and then turned and got his own follow. Inside of Nick Smith. Ivan Cartello from Split, Croatia. Purdue again within 2. Off the ball contact.
That was on Purdue, number 20.
Kenneth Lowe with his second.
Mr. Lockdown defender. And that's the kind of defense that Gene Cady teaches. Very confrontational and physical. A lot of action on the glass. You know, so far, the first half, Purdue missed 19 shots. It's a big number, but they grabbed 9 offensive rebounds.
The surprise is Purdue is not a good rebounding team. Despite their size, they are -2 per game on the glass for the year. Cartello. His second.
Second half being officiated much differently than the first. Very free-flowing game to start. Now they're clamping down a little bit.
You talked about the officiating in Bloomington last night. That game was the same, and it had to be, because it could have turned into hockey easily on several occasions, but they kept good control. Cook, the turnaround, he has 8. Between a 1 and a 4-point Illinois lead here in the second half. Dean straight on 3, rebound on the run for Luther Head, and a 3-on-2.
And if you ask Gene Cady, coach, you like that shot by Willie Dean, his answer would have been no.
Third 3 of the night for Luther Head, who had only 1 double-figure scoring outing his last 7 games, but he already has 11 tonight. Lowe held off by Cook. Lowe on a drive, draws the foul.
That was on Illinois' Brian Cook.
Brian Cook called here. This is his 3rd, and the team's 4th. So Cook, the first big man for Illinois, will have to watch himself. Williams also has 3. Booker has 3 for Purdue.
Yeah, and Brian Cook and James Augustine have spent much of the Big Ten season in foul trouble. That's a beautiful release. Watch his feet when he gets ready to shoot, Dave, because it's kind of interesting the way they come together, almost like he's shooting a jump shot, but he never leaves the ground.
Remember, Hal Greer used to actually practice his jump shot at the free throw line, the old Philadelphia 76er.
Yes.
Free throw coming up for Kenneth Lowe.
See if we can see his feet on the release.
Yeah, the heels kind of click like Dorothy. But it works. 11 tonight for Lowe, and Purdue within 5.
Shoot around today, Gene Cady was telling his guys that you've got to attack the rim with intelligence. Now watch. There's the kill zone of the defense. You're not going to dribble all the way to the rim without resistance. Now, it works out here, but that's where you need the mid-range game right there to go up with the shot. That's an endangered species in college basketball, the mid-range jump shooter.
Do you blame the three-point line for that?
I think it's a big part of it, and everybody wants to attack the glass. It's a very difficult shot, but if you practice it and you're able to go straight up and down, knocking down that 10-foot jump shot should not be very difficult, especially when so many defenses like Illinois get out there and cover the three-point line.
Well, it worked out for Lowe because he got and made the free throws, and it got Cook out of the game with his 3rd foul. Harrington in for the side eye. McKnight on him. Kiefer in, matched with Augustine.
Yeah, with Brian Cook on the bench, who's going to make a big play for Illinois?
Keep around quiet for a while. Augustine, Lowe, Smith. No way you'd think a 7'2" center misses that shot. But Smith hitting only 37% for the year. Still trying to bulk up. They list him at 240, and that's putting on some pounds over the last 2 years.
So in this game, he's 1 for 1 with his shoes untied, 0 for 1 when they're tied. What does that tell you?
Well, you've isolated the cause. Kilgore's turnaround 3. Purdue with only 1 3-point basket tonight. And they're one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the league. Harrington, the best 3-point shooter in the league, but he comes up short here. Brown kept it alive for Augustine. Harrington, another look, but McKnight closed on it. And tipped out by Dean. Boy, Dean has been all over the court this second half after watching half the first half.
D. Brown's been quiet in this game, hasn't he?
5 quick ones early and nothing from him.
And in this situation, we mentioned that Cook is on the bench. This is the time for him to get aggressive. Now, Nick Smith has a lot of potential, and I want you to watch him here. There's going to be a release. He gets to the rim. That's a situation where he's got to go straight up rather than fall away.
Inside the Head, and Head having a big night, up to 13 points. Still belongs to Purdue. And he wonders maybe if Dean wasn't fouled as it was knocked out. Into Cartello, and he gets hammered. Yvonne draws the 3rd foul of the night on Nick Smith.
5 on the line.
And for Cartello,
At the line for Purdue.
it's been an interesting year for the line. He started by missing 12 of his first 13 free throws for the season, but he has made 7 of his last 9, so some work has paid off. He's wide left on that one. 36%.
Remember, you and I were watching the national championship game together. Remember when Willis McGahee blew out his knee? Cartello
never forget it.
Cartello had the same kind of nasty injury. He dislocated his elbow, and it was like a McGahee or a Joe Theismann injury where you just want to look away and don't see it.
There's the sleeve on it.
Only missed 3 games.
That's amazing. Think of that as possibly season-ending. It's really bad career threat. Harrington in and out. Can't get any luck on the threes tonight. It could be a tough matchup coming off the bench. He hasn't scored yet. Kilgore, they wanted to walk on him. The Illini get a steal by Head, and then down on the floor, Harrington and Kilgore. Don't forget, when we finish up here, we go down under to Melbourne Park. The Australian Open has reached the women's semis with both the Williams sisters in action. Serena against Kim Clijsters, Venus against Justine Henin-Hardin. That's 9:30 Eastern tonight, immediately following our game's conclusion. They called that on Kilgore. 14 foul Purdue. 7 minutes in, 7-point lead Illinois. Purdue had it chopped to 1 early this half and had the ball.
Notice how different this offense is without Brian Cook. They spend the whole year playing off of him, feeding off of his low post scoring. Now he sits. It's a different and uncomfortable role for a lot of these Illinois players.
Their first turnover this half. But how long do you sit Cook?
I'd bring him back soon.
Keeper over screening for Dean, up with the scoop. Man, a show Willie Dean has put on here in the second half. You can't take your eyes off of him on either end of the floor.
Yeah, good news is that Willie Dean scores. The bad news is Brian Cook gets up immediately and he's coming back.
Smith underneath to Augustine, being held by Buckley.
You know, there's certain things you can teach. You can teach defense, but offensive creativity, it's a God-given gift. And there's a little right there. The Big Ten's leading scorer last year. Much more energy-oriented here in the second half, don't you think?
No comparison. And low numbers for both for this point of the game. But in Cook's case, because of fouls, Dean, because he sat most of the first half. A 3 by Cook. And the lead, just like like that up to 8, so it didn't take Brian long at all to get back into the flow.
D. Brown, number 11, with the personal.
D. Brown's third foul, and it happens about 30 feet away from the basket. Timeout 11:59. 49-41 for Illinois.
What's gonna back to the free throw line for Gary Williams?
You know, Mike, what I wanted to clarify here, because as we look at the bench, what I meant in the late game situations with 2 minutes or less, if we can utilize the monitor to get it right on a shot clock violation, why not? If it's a game-changing situation, give that opportunity to the officials, because really you don't want to make those kind of mistakes late in the game. Like the Oklahoma State game came to that situation. Very tough call for the official. Here it is.
Nicholas ahead of the pack.
Celebration time down at Bentley's. They're jumping with Bentley's down there at College Park. They're rocking and rolling. Gary's gang celebrating.
81-66. McCants with a miss. Gets his own rebound, fires again. McCants trying to hit a new career high tonight. He'll finish with 26. And Carolina loses it 81-66 as Maryland wins its 4th ACC game in 5 tries. Our final score, Maryland 81-66. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Now back to Reese Davis and Jay Billis.
Clock. Anthony Roberson, dribble drive, and a great look to Benel Colas. One dribble and the dunk. Gators on their way to their 12th straight. They lead it by 11, and there will be no celebration of a 500th ACC win for the Heels on this night. Maryland takes care of North Carolina, 81-66. Dave and Tim.
All right, Trey, sorry, my mind was wandering a little bit. I got hungry during that brief highlight segment. Not the only one here. 49-41 Illinois. Purdue with only 1 3-pointer tonight, 7 by Illinois.
First time we've seen zone out of Illinois. Good idea. Eliminate the Purdue set out of the timeout.
David Teague, first basket just in off the bench. Freshman from Indianapolis. Much better from 3 than 2 this year. Williams, a tough pass. And a head foul from behind, and that's 3 now on Lowe.
That was on Purdue's Kenneth Lowe, number 20.
Lowe with 3. Brown sitting with 3.
6 on the Boilermakers.
Also Booker for Purdue. Cook and Smith. And Williams, all 3 for Illinois.
I don't think I've seen a team in the Big Ten this year that covers the 3-point line as aggressive as Purdue does. That's going the other way.
Offensive foul, Augustine.
Augustine has been in foul trouble nonstop. So is D. Brown. And talking to Bill Self today, he made a great analogy about baseball. He said for these young freshmen, they're coming into the conference. Their games are so well scouted, and it's like a big league pitcher that comes in. First time around, yeah, he catches everybody off guard, but second time around, when they get to know him a little bit better, it's a lot harder, and he needs to have some secondary stuff. That's what they're looking for out of Augustine and D. Brown.
Time to adjust.
Exactly.
Luther Head now in that group with 3 personals.
At the line for Purdue.
Called him for holding Willie Dean. And Dean, a 76% free throw shooter. Last year, Gene Katie's 3rd Big Ten scoring champion. You can name the other 2, can't you?
Troy Lewis.
No, actually.
Glenn Robinson.
You played against one. Glenn Robinson twice. And then who was the other? You played against this guy. He was a first-round pick who receded from memory pretty quickly. San Antonio picked him first. Keith Edmondson.
There you go. Wow.
Way back.
How good was he? Smooth on the wing. Great feet. Like Willie Dean. Willie Dean has Barry Sanders' feet. Change in direction. Scoots out there. Keith Edmondson.
Barry Sanders' feet. Not bad with the feet either. And 7 of his 13 here in the second half as Mom watches Illinois go back up by 7.
They've got numbers, but only for a second because D. Brown is so fast. What do you think? The shot a little quick there?
Teague confident with the three, maybe too much so, and Dean will go back to the line. This is 4 on, I beg your pardon, I thought it was going to be a 4th on Cook. It's Augustine, just his second. College hoops tonight, 12:30 a.m. Eastern. It's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tonight it's Jay Billis and Reese Davis with all the news and highlights from around the country. Highlights of this game, everything else we presume in a big impact night in the Big Ten with Michigan hoping to extend its winning streak to 12. Trailing at home early to Minnesota. 1 of 2 by Dean, and Booker in to sneak away with the offensive board. Purdue still out rebounding the Illini on their own floor. 28-24. Iowa at Wisconsin tonight. Michigan State destroying Penn State. Booker. Bank straight on. Cook clears.
Is that a manly rebound? Oh. He's not a leaper, but that was grabbed at rim level.
Dean, eyes in the back of his head to get a hand on that one. Either that or he just read the receiver's eyes like a good cornerback. From deep in the corner, a 3 by Buckley. And Bill Self wants time as Purdue has cut into another lead. It's down to 3. Melvin Buckley with just his 7th 3 of the year, just the 2nd of the night for the Boilers.
Minnesota trying to win their 12th straight. Transition basketball off the rebounded shot. They get it into the freshman point guard Daniel Horton's hands, and that's a really good idea. Spin move all the way to the bucket, puts Michigan up by 5. However, they only lead by 1 at the break. Back to you guys.
That one figured to be tight. This one is as well. 51-48, 9.5 minutes. In Champaign, Illinois 8-0 here this year. Cook, quick turn from up high. Every game this year he has had at least 15 points. He's been that productive and that consistent, and he has 15 tonight after a slow start. Booker yet to recover from his slow start. Still with only 5. D. Brown back in. He's been sitting after his 3rd foul. Williams as well back in with 3. All alone for 3. And Brown around it out.
Say Brian Cook came down on the side of someone's foot in the lane.
Have to walk that one off.
Now, as it goes up, he gets good position. He fights. I don't think he jumped. I think somebody stepped on his foot. It may have been Augustine that fell on top.
He'll stay in. Boy, they almost got a miracle. One-hander on the inbound by Williams. They'll take what they got from Brown, though. Almost caught him napping on what would have been a tip-in off the inbounds pass by Williams, but Brown was there. 55-48. Dean way off, and then he goes up for his follow, and again will go to the line. This is 4 on Cook.
Very surprising, because watch how passive Purdue's defense is. Everybody on the perimeter stood and watched. D. Brown was quick. I guess D. Brown is always quick.
Wakes up quick. So Cook now with 8:24 to go. About to head out as Nick Smith gets to the scorer's table. Dean struggling with his free throws. Just 3 out of 6.
You know, today on the bus ride over, Gene Cady was showing a video of the '95 team. Preseason, they were picked number 7 in the Big Ten, and they won the conference. Assistant coaches Todd Foster and Conzo Martin were on that team, and they had a lot of commentary for the players about sharing the ball on offense and how good that team was in that area.
Part of a Purdue three-peat. This team trying not to be part of a three-peat. 3 straight years without getting an NCAA bid. Brown underneath there, Smith. There's one he knows he'll make. Illinois by 8. Dean out for a Teague or a Buckley three-pointer, his second of the night.
And that could have been a 4-point play because Augustine hit him on the release.
Melvin Buckley, not a part of last couple of games at all, but a big part of this second half. Harrington, they're looking for his first tonight. 2-on-2. McKnight pulls up. No rebounder underneath. He didn't need one.
Brandon McKnight.
Every time Illinois looks like they're getting a comfortable lead, you look up and 30, 40 seconds later, it's just about vanished.
Kind of like an old-fashioned Purdue team. I don't think they're as talented, but they look to me to be a tougher team.
Augustine. Smith didn't go over the back of Booker for the tip. And Purdue's been here several times, but they have never gotten over the top for a lead. Dean again draws contact.
Now, you stumped me on Keith Edmondson. Let me throw it back at you. Do you know the only other Big Ten team to win 3 straight titles all by themselves without tying?
2 shots.
Without tying. That's the
60s.
kicker in that one. In the 60s. Ohio State. Early 60s.
That's a big hint, though. I'll give you half credit on that.
Jerry Lucas teams. John Havlicek. Fonzo Martin. A couple of years back added to Gene Katie's staff. Willie Dean, part of a 7-0 run by Purdue. They again have cut it to 1.
Olive Garden Super Toscana is warmth the Italian way, hot, homemade, and full of...
Purdue has run off 7 of the 11 points. Their last lead was 7-6. Their only other lead was 5-4. So they've spent all night playing catch-up, and they've gotten this close a couple of times.
Yeah, and that's been their trademark throughout the season. A lot of offense from their defense. They've got a killer speed game. They force turnovers and misses. That ignites their break, and that's the reason why they're able to make so many comebacks. You see the 12 double-figure runs they've had.
They've really helped themselves off Illinois mistakes. 13 of their points have come off of 15 Illini turnovers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, call your friends at home and have them tune in because Illinois does not lose at home. 33-1 under Bill Self.
2 great passes to get a layup out of Brown.
Pretty nice piece of coaching to see out of a timeout. A set works so nice, and they caught the extracurricular elbow.
And this is a huge call against the Boilermakers.
What will happen?
If it's what it looked like it was going to be. It is on low. It's his 4th.
And there will be 1 free throw.
So Dean, who had sat after the timeout, is going to have to come back, and Purdue will lose its best defender for the time being.
He's physical. There's no question about that. And let's see if we see it after the play. Missed it. But Gene Katie was talking today about if you want to be in a physical defense, there's a benefit and there's a problem. You may get in foul trouble, but if you establish yourself as the tough guy out there, when the game's on the line, the referees in the back of their mind will respect you, and you may get a call.
Everybody on the floor for Illinois has at least 3, and Cook with 4. Lowe now with 4, no longer on the floor. And that figures to impact the perimeter defense. Now in the bonus, Ted hits the front end.
Let's see if we can see the elbow a little better here. Here's the clear out.
Can't do that with 3.
No, especially with the referee about 6 feet away. He's not going to miss that, especially because his eyes are focused right on the play for any contact.
First free throws this half for Illinois. And the Orange Crush up and bouncing.
I don't think there's anybody from the gene pool here that I can tell.
Not identified as such.
That's Gene Katie's club back at Mackey Arena.
Booker fighting for his own miss. Busher with the save. Out off Illinois. Busher, who has set most, if not all of the second half.
Better get it in.
Couldn't, and he called time.
Purdue.
Both teams 2 timeouts remaining.
30-second timeout.
When we finish, we go to Melbourne for the women's semifinals, the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open. Serena and Kim Clijsters, Venus and Justine Henin-Harden saw a remarkable match this afternoon. The men's quarterfinals, and Andy Roddick won the longest 5th set in Grand Slam history, something like 22-20 in
marathon.
It went 5 hours, that match, where he finally advanced for the first time to the semi. It's Michigan at 4-0, Iowa and Purdue at 3-0, and of that group, who was predicted to finish best in the Big Ten? I don't think any of that 3 picked higher than 7th or 8th.
Now, and Gene Katie said this is the closest race, the most competitive he's ever seen.
Brown gets ahead of the pack. Count it.
Was that the fastest guy in Illinois history with the basketball?
I want a 40 time on D. Brown. Look at this. This is even in slow motion. He's a blur.
Brendan McKnight. Augustine back in. Quick sitting down. The foul on McKnight.
Nice cushiony landing on the cameras.
And the 8th team foul on Purdue.
Yep.
D. Brown
without question, D. Brown, as referenced by Bill Self, the fastest player he has ever coached.
Or may ever coach. Illinois by 8. Willie Dean may single-handedly foul every Illini out. This is real time. From midcourt to the basket in about a half second.
Willie Dean on the line for Purdue. 2 shots.
D. Brown, 7 of his 12 here in the second half. Purdue has led virtually the entire game by as many as 12. It's been one long comeback for Purdue, but every time they fall 7 or 8 back, they cut it to eventually 1, and then they fall back again. Willie Dean hits them both, and they're within 6. Dave Barnett and Tim McCormick. Assembly Hall in Champaign sold out on a frigid night in the Plains. Supposed to be somewhere around 30 below the wind chill outside, but it is steamy in here.
Yeah, a nice night to sit in front of the TV and watch a little competitive Big Ten basketball.
Illinois trying to go 9-0 at home, 13-3 for the year, 3-2 in league play, and end a 2-game losing streak.
6-point lead at home. Illinois will keep Brian Cook on the bench as long as they can keep it to 6.
Booker with 3 fouls, but nevertheless chasing Smith, a non-shooter way outside. Williams fouled here by Buckley. And one more, and the Illini will have a double bonus. Purdue already has them.
You know, the high-low offense here, I want you to watch this. They have one big up top, one big down low. Now, the way that you counteract that is to put all kinds of ball pressure so they can't possibly throw it in.
Aaron Williams, just 6 out of 16 for the season from the free throw line.
That's a problem because he's one of your dual point guards along with D. Brown, and he's going to have the ball in his hands in a lot of close games.
Near 5 minutes to go.
Looks like a box and one defensively on Willie Dean. The chaser is D. Brown. Good idea.
Dean still gets off the three-pointer, rims it out, tipped over to McKnight. They'll back out and reset. Buckley with a couple of three-pointers here in the second half. Not this time, though. Nick Smith calls for it, gets it from Williams.
And the reason that happened, Chris Booker is absolutely gassed. He has nothing in the tank right now. That's what playing Brian Cook will do to you.
The Illini three-pointer by McKnight is missed. Dean ends up with it. Booker back outside. Buckley steps. And Purdue just about, Tim, to get down to where there will not be quite enough time for a round.
Into the Purdue lineup, number 20, Kenneth Lowe.
Lowe back in, consequently.
Lowe for Buckley.
He'll replace Buckley. 4 fouls in all. A 9-point deficit.
All right, I'm gonna have you mark this one down as an important possession. Mentally, if you go down double digits on the road with 4 minutes to go, you don't make the comeback.
Biggest lead this half for the Illini, but Purdue again comes up with the stop. They must start cashing these in, though. Lowe, the up fake, the drive, and the Illini fans will say he tied him up. Ted Valentine will say it's number 4 on Smith.
That's the only one that counts, right? What Ted Valentine says.
It's not a democracy. Lowe feeling this foul.
One of the leading tough guys in the Big Ten. Nice ball skills. Nick Smith comes over. Not really a shot blocker at 7'2", but
that's all ball there.
Yeah, that looks pretty good, and he caught it up top.
2 shots.
Smith from Valrico, Florida, near Tampa, by the way. Super Bowl prediction, 24-21 Bucks, just for the record.
Interesting.
Landon Ferguson from Oakland, his prediction, 28-14 Raiders. Real shocking for both of them. Gene Cady over for a word with William Bush after the conversation. Elena now low, finally ready to shoot.
Can I revisit Gene Cady's comment about if you play tough down the stretch, you'll get a couple calls? That might be one right there where Lowe's toughness went in. Notice the little extra contact there between Smith, not known as a tough guy, and Booker trying to establish the tough guy reputation.
Just the second free throw Lowe has missed in conference play. And he follows up with another miss, but Busher takes it away and gets fouled. Brown with his 4th.
That is the 4th foul on D. Brown.
What is there to say? Bill Self sees Kenneth Lowe miss 2 free throws. May not happen again all year. And that sequence ends with his point guard picking up his 4th and putting Busher on the line. Whatever has looked good at the moment for Illinois has quickly vanished.
And I think it's worth noting from Purdue's standpoint, if they win this thing, they've got to be considered a contender for a Big Ten title.
Down by 4, guys.
Well, the Big Ten this week, by the way, has clarified what would happen should Michigan win the regular season and tournament titles in the Big Ten this year. Of course, they have already self-imposed no NCAA bid in their future this season. So the Big Ten says if Michigan wins both, then the official bid would go to the runner-up in the regular season. And in effect, the tournament would go meaningless.
Interesting. Brian Cook, not a guy that you want to foul at this point in the game, being in the double bonus.
His second 10 on Purdue.
College hoops tonight. We'll catch you up on the Minnesota-Michigan game. Highlights of this one, everything else around the country. 12:30 a.m. Eastern tonight. Reese Davis, Jay Billis. It's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night.
As we enjoy the work of Brian Cook at the line, I was pretty amazed, Dave, looking through the Big Ten stats today. The top 25 scorers in the Big Ten, Brian Cook is the only legit post guy who scores with his back to the basket consistently. You look at Newton and Rickert. Newton for Indiana, Rickert for Minnesota. Those guys are more comfortable facing up, and saw Mrs. Cook very proud of her son Brian as he goes and sits down in an offense for defense substitution.
Well, they should. Both be proud of what he's put together his senior year. He's got 17 points. He's got his team up by 9.
Here's the boxing one again on Willie Dean. If you look at Purdue, if you stop Willie Dean, I think you beat Purdue because they don't have a lot of creative scores except for 0 black and gold.
Low. No good on the 3. Booker fighting hard and gets the offensive board. And now McKnight. Moving inside for Booker. Got 7-2 Smith behind him. Into traffic, Booker. Augustine forces that miss. And who do you think's going to win that battle for the loose ball? Brown will use time wisely, not forcing the break. Under 2.5. Chance to go up 12 here on a head 3 no. Purdue a chance to run. A couple of quick ones. Dean short on the scoop. Head gets it out to Williams. Darren into the corner. Brown the 3. Tipped out and Williams will run.
Very good decision. 2 minutes to go. You're up 9.
2 clear-thinking freshmen. Smith, wow, underneath, and Augustine foul. The crowd loving what they just saw from Nick Smith. Part of it is shock, I think.
You know, I've watched basketball for a long time, but never in my life have I seen 7-2 go behind his back.
At the line for the Illini.
Magic Johnson couldn't do any better than that, Nick Smith. Excellent work.
Busher picks up his 3rd.
You know,
back in.
Australian Open women's semis next. Both Serena and Venus Williams in action.
You know who's going to be all over Nick Smith is Reese Davis. You know he hates the behind-the-back pass on college hoops tonight.
Or just for general purposes?
No, he just says
he's just a spoil sport.
No, he says it's totally unnecessary.
Oh, not true. It's the only pass he could have made right there. Minute 40 to go. Purdue having to think threes. McKnight will take this one. And chances running out now on the Boilers.
Purdue does not have their legs. They work so hard on the defensive end. You can see the effect when they shoot the jump shot. They've missed about 10 open jumpers with clear looks at the basket here within the last 5 or 6 minutes.
5-second call here. Defensive McKnight creates the turnover. But Purdue has missed 8 of its last 10 shots. And you do think legs. When you see a number like that down the stretch of a game like this, as hard fought as it's been.
I'm watching Booker, and he's trudging up the court. And when you breathe with your mouth open, that means that you're very tired. Once again, the box and 1.
Low, going past Augustine. And a chance for Purdue to score with the clock on. Augustine now with 4, along with Brown, Smith, and Cook. For Purdue, Low, the only Boilermaker with 4.
2 shots.
Double bonus both ways. Low missed his last 2 free throws. Before that had missed only 1 in conference play. 92% for the year.
I want to revisit one of our earlier discussions here. We talked about pace of play, and the fact that today at shoot-around, Gene Katie said, you know, I'm not afraid to get up and down, and we both felt, and Bill Self also felt, that if this thing gets in the 70s, you have to give the edge to Illinois because they're on their home court, and they have the potent scores.
Timeout, Purdue.
Next to last timeout called here by Katie, with a minute 2 in the 7-point game. Now, every other time they've been here, they have rallied. Is there time for one last rally?
No, I don't think so, because Illinois is a veteran team. They have 3 guards, but you know that Harrington and Cook are going to handle the ball a lot, and I've got great confidence in D. Brown.
Well, next up is a road trip to Happy Valley for the Illini. They're back here from Michigan. A much bigger game than it looked it would be at the beginning of the year. February 2nd at Michigan State, the preseason favorite. And then Ohio State, and they go to West Lafayette.
This is definitely a must game, though, for Illinois. You know, they're 2-2, but when you look at starting at Minnesota, at Iowa, and at Indiana as 3 of your 4 games, you know that you're not going to win all of those. There you see Cook with a lot of handle. They want the ball with their best free throw shooters. I'm surprised that Harrington's not in the game.
He has not been a great free throw shooter. Maybe the reason. Willie Dean with 51 seconds.
Third foul on Dean.
Just his third. So Purdue, barring one last spurt, will lose its first in conference play. They came in tied with Iowa, 3-0, a half game behind 4-0 Michigan. Iowa at Wisconsin tonight. Brown, a poor free throw shooting freshman season as well, 60%, 1 of 2 tonight. So Illinois hits 70. Low. Another short one. Smith will be called for his 5th. And Tim, again, this looks first glance as if it's all ball. You do have tennis coming up. You're looking for the women's semifinals down in Melbourne. Immediately following our conclusion. This may be on Head, though, and not Smith. It's Luther Head's 5th. And so the break for the foul out with 42.6.
And we talked a little bit about the video presentation by Gene Cady of his team back in '85. Bill Self did the same thing in the preseason. He showed some video clips of the 2000 Tulsa team that did so much good work in the NCAA. And he stressed that this team cut out the half court. They would not allow any ball reversals. And he told his guys, that's what I want us to become, so that when we make our NCAA run, the guys are only playing half the court. It's kind of like, you know how Deion Sanders for the Cowboys would eliminate his side of the field. He was that quick, and it made the opponents one-dimensional. That's how he sees this Illini team down in the NCAA.
The Tulsa team went to the Elite Eight. One of his first 2 Illinois teams also to the Elite Eight. Gene Cady was there 3 years ago. One of his 2 near misses for the Final Four. Still in quest of that. Head, by the way, fouled out with a season high total of 15 points. And Purdue with no other option but to foul. This is 4 on Busher.
Number 4 on Busher.
Kim Kleister, Serena Williams.
At the line will be
Venus Williams. Also coming up in the women's semifinals down in Melbourne.
When you consider that 7 of their 11 players, this is the first time for Purdue coming into Illinois to play, that Gene Cady has got to feel pleased with the effort. They hung in there, they defended, and they ran out of gas. A little bit surprised, though, they look so fatigued because they do go 11 deep. You would think that with their rotations that they would have been a bit more fresh down the home stretch.
And when you have 11 averaging double-figure minutes, that's part of the package. You figure you're going to have people with fresh legs out there. Illinois has had the fresher set of legs down the stretch tonight. Dean misses that scoop.
Tonight, Willie Dean is going to wake up in a cold
Watch
sweat.
It. Technical coming here. Booker, who had a shove on Cook.
Boy, you saw that long before it happened coming, didn't you?
Right here, you can see it coming.
Watch the elbow up top.
There's the 4th foul on Booker, and it doesn't end there. That shove is what Ted Valentine saw right in front of him.
A little frustration. And remember that coming in, the Book versus Cook matchup was the marquee matchup. And he talked about, as a JUCO player last year, when he transferred in, he started watching Big Ten games. And he said tonight was a night he wanted to define himself as the next coming of the best post player in the Big Ten after Brian Cook leaves. That clearly didn't happen.
And this means that Booker fouls out because the technical becomes his 5th personal.
Replacing Booker will be number.
And he follows up the best game he's had as a Boiler. 27 Saturday with only 6 tonight. And you see frustration maybe boiling over here in the final seconds. So Cook, an 81% free throw shooter. I like that number for a big man. With the tees, he has 21. This is his 10th 20-point game this year, his 7th out of the last 8. Bill Self can count on that just about every night, and he can count on a win here just about every night. He will go to 34-1 in Assembly Hall, 17-1 in the Big Ten here.
And the astonishing thing, they start 3 freshmen. And if I make you call your Big Ten champion right now, who do you pick, Dave?
Oh, man, right now, I liked Illinois at the beginning of the year, first time I saw him. I'm not going to back off now, but don't make me call it right now. Take all the fun out of it.
It's an unofficial call.
Very premature.
I still like Indiana a little bit, but I wouldn't count out Minnesota.
I like Indiana a lot. I like them more every time I see them. 13 seconds for Illinois to dribble off the clock with a 13-point lead. A much tougher game than this final score will indicate. They end their 2-game losing streak. First conference loss for Purdue, 75-62. Our final for Tim McCormick and our entire ESPN crew. Dave Barnett, so long from Champaign now to the Australian Open. Women's semifinals. Let's go to Melbourne.
Well, that spark, Loyola's taking some of that out of UIC's approach in this first half. They've come on with a more deliberate, slowed down type of approach with their offense.
Armand Williams to the line. It's a 2-point game. Free throw up. No. Rebound McMillan.
Big difference is the fact that Loyola's creative fouls, but they're hitting them too.
David Bailey shake and bake, flips it up. Yes.
It's a tie ball game.
And it's a 59-all game. David Bailey starting to heat up. Martell Bailey, 2 straight buckets. He comes down.
Shoot it.
Lobs it inside, threw it away, but they're going to get a foul on Loyola. I believe Sean Williams.
They've gotten better opportunities in the execution, that being the Flames. It seems like they're so much out of sync, but I think let's give Loyola credit for getting it done by the defensive end. They're just not letting them have to get easy shots they had earlier, especially getting the ball inside. That's why now UIC is not shooting the free throws.
Sean Williams picks up the foul. He held on the lob pass.
Well, it might have been a dunk right there, but at the same time, they're not allowing them to throw that ball inside like they had been during the course of this game.
Free throw, no good again. Armand Williams cooling off.
Could be the downfall if you don't make the free throws.
He's missed 5 of his last 7 at the line. He could easily be on his way to a 30-35-point game.
Yeah, very easily. At the same time, how big is that shot at the end of the game so far in this?
End of the half?
Yes.
Yep. McMillan gives Loyola the lead. It is 61-59, and the Rambler faithful are fired up. First lead since 20-17 at the 9-minute mark first half.
And good defense by Loyola. Loyola
nearly able to come up with a steal here. Bailey
good
goes
block. A little too much one-on-one. I know
the block.
Looking for them to create and do some things, but a little much one-on-one.
Josh Williams misses. There's a rebound. No. Tipped up. Armand Williams.
Good. He may be back in the thick of things with that tip right there. He's still been aggressive around the hoop. Only thing I say negative about his game today is his free throw shooting.
David Bailey, long 3, no. Rebound, Snyder. Here comes Martell Bailey on brother David. He turns in the lane, and they're going to call a jump ball. David Bailey wins that battle.
I think it's a little too much one-on-one. I like to see him get involved in this team, but only in a structured offense.
Here comes Martell.
Yeah, this is his game.
And there's David, and he says, hey, I've seen that one on the driveway.
No doubt. Bring something else, brother. Oh, yeah.
Now they
called a foul, Dave.
They did. One official came out to jump ball. And I think Steve Skiles may have overruled and said foul.
Right.
So they're going to get David Bailey with his second. David Bailey was fired up when they called jump.
Yeah, he was.
Free throw up and good. It is a 2-point Flames lead, 63-61 over the Ramblers. David Kaplan and Norm Van Leer with you at the UIC Pavilion. Lewis Smith out of West Aurora High School. They have the best team in Illinois that I've seen this year.
West Aurora.
They're great. Smith to David Bailey. Shot clock inside 15. We haven't had to call the shot clock all night long. David Bailey spinning, flipping, missing. Rebound Martell. Martell Bailey, elbow jumper, got it. He's starting to heat up.
Oh, he's got to look for the shot a little more. Now, that was a fast break and created not the half court going one-on-one with most of the clock. This was a fast break, one-on-one type of creation off of a fast break.
He now has 8 of their last 10 points scored by Martell Bailey. They'll get John Schneiderman with his 3rd personal foul. David Bailey to the line. David Bailey has 16 in the game to lead Loyola. McMillan not far behind with 13. Armand Williams, the runaway leader in the game, with 24. Bailey's free throw is good. 3-point game, 7:35 to go. We got a doozy, man.
Yes, we do. It's a good, solid game.
He makes this, we get an official's timeout. Free throw up, good. We will have a timeout. It's 65, 63. Flames over Ramblers, 7:35 left at the UIC Pavilion. It's a great one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Introducing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The only show that takes you inside the world of extreme sports each and every weeknight. The breaking news, event highlights, and inside features you won't find anywhere else. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Premieres Monday on Fox Sports Net.
On the next Beyond the Glory.
How much is the Hyundai Elantra with automatic transmission and air conditioning?
Under 13,000.
Shut up. What if I want power windows, locks, and mirrors?
Same price.
Shut up. And front and side airbags?
Same price. Please don't hit me.
The Hyundai Elantra GLS for just $12,794. When you get more than you'd expect, including America's best warranty, you win.
Is your home in need of a lift? Come to Carpet Master Carpet One at 1040 Bloomington Road, Champaign, for the largest selection of carpets in the area. Choose from thousands of colors and styles just waiting for you. So come on by and see Cookie, the queen of carpets, to help solve your flooring needs. At Carpet Master Carpet One, 1040 Bloomington Road, Champaign.
You can be sure when it comes to flooring, nobody does it better than Carpet One.
65-63 Flames over Ramblers. David Kaplan, Norm Van Leer at the Pavilion. Jimmy Collins talked with us before the game about Martell Bailey.
Martell Bailey is the ultimate leader. He knows when to hold him, he knows when to fold him. And by that I mean he knows when to run the ball on the floor. He also knows when to pull it back and run the offense. He is my focal point. He is the guy that gets us jump started.
There he is, Martell Bailey. Didn't score in 29 minutes, 8 points the last 3:38 of the last 10 points for UIC, and they've got a 2-point lead. Schneiderman now assumes the leadership role at the point as Bailey gets a little rest. Aaron Carr kicks inside to Armand Williams. Tough pass to Schneiderman, he threw it away.
Timeout, or did he get it?
Did he get the timeout?
Nope.
Nope, Loyola ball.
I hate that rule anyway.
I don't like that. You can't come down inbounds. I can't stand that. Guys will
You're getting bailed out.
leap into
And also,
the air, 8 rows deep, and go, give me a timeout.
Yeah, I hate think the arrow point thing too. If I play defense and I get the dump ball out of it, all of a sudden you get it back because the arrows. You just took away my defensive effort.
I agree.
As far as I'm concerned. Throw the ball up, let him go.
Williams to Clancy. Shot clock at 15 seconds. McMillan, baseline jumper, no. Ball goes to the corner, and it will be UIC ball.
Well, I think this is a very important run for UIC right now with Bailey out of the game. You see how you can handle it and do things, but that's why you're a substitute and you come in and do things and pick the game up. So, very interesting set right here with 6:55 left. I have a date with Mick Jagger for a while.
Very upset with me. We're backstage at the Stones and I don't get an invite. Yeah. Banks with a great fake, flips it up, no, but he's fouled by Minifield. And that will be 4 on Corey Minifield.
Minifield can't get a break this game, buddy.
He wants to forget this one.
I mean, he can't get to break this game.
Cedric Banks, 2 shots.
I'll tell you, these
are his first free throws of the evening.
But it's hurting this team if they don't make these free throws down the stretch run, pick it up a little bit.
Well, free throws cost them a game early in their year at Evansville.
They must, I've seen 6 miss at least right now.
Schneiderman open look for 3, no, rebound Minifield. Kicks to Clancy, Ramblers want to run. UIC does a good job getting back.
Cool.
Schneiderman falls down, Clancy hits a triple.
Schneiderman also got a little force action there. I think he got pushed with the elbow. Not a whole lot of push, but enough on the momentum side of it to knock you down and get the shot off.
Yeah, we're going to watch that again to see if Clancy got away with pushing.
Schneiderman was moving back anyway, but still.
Aaron Carr for 3, no, rebound Clancy. Loyola looks to push the tempo. Minifield to Clancy.
UIC is settling for a lot of jump shots also the second half.
Inside 6 minutes. Great pass to Clancy, lays it in.
Good
Big
execution.
Back door.
Execution is beautiful.
Pass, great catch, and score. 7-0 run Loyola. They lead by 3.
I don't know when the last time I've seen a layup made by the Flames like they did the first half to keep it going and get a penalty or a foul shot with it. And give Loyola credit for stopping that. Oh, he had a shot.
Banks for 3. No. Gets his own rebound. Flips it up. Yes. Cedric Banks.
Good play on Banks' part, but also Loyola with the sleep on that one. To allow that to take place with Banks. Got the shot. Could be the turnaround for him. They're down 1 point with 5 left in this half.
UIC 4 of 10 at the line this half.
Oh, nice.
From Sean Williams and the foul.
Nice layup.
Sean Williams made a beautiful move to the baseline. Now watch this. He goes up. There's the contact.
And I got to say this. Armand Williams has got to come over and help on this. He stood his ground and allowed the layup to go. You know where the ball is when you play the defensive game. You should point where your man is, and more importantly, the most important thing on the court is the ball. So you got to know that coming off the weak side. If you get around your man, you got to have weak side help. That's just a given right there. I don't want to fault him particularly, but any player in that position has got to come over and help.
Larry Farmer exhorting his troops. Jimmy Collins will try and map out a strategy to climb out of a 4-point hole at the 5:05 mark. There's Jimmy Collins, Mark Coombs. Assistant coaches for Jimmy, Dave Donnelly, Lynn Mitchum, associate head coaches Mark Coombs. Larry's assistant, James Farr, who I was recruiting when I was in Northern. Our other assistant said to me, he's too small, he can't play. He only played for Creighton when they won the Valley and went to the tournament.
Yeah.
Scott Spinelli and Bill Wasinski.
Well, you know that Creighton is a big rival with Southern Illinois.
Huge.
And you know what there, David Lee Ross was sitting in the truck.
Where'd he go?
Southern Illinois.
That's right, he couldn't get into Creighton. He got rejected, so he went to Southern.
David Lee Ross, my man. Yeah, you know, he's suing Van Halen, man.
Just kidding, the Southern Illinois guys. Be all over.
Yeah, they would.
Martell Bailey brings
brings it into the front court to Armand Williams. It's a 4-point Loyola lead. We're inside 5 minutes.
This zone has hurt UIC this second half.
And flipped up by Seth Banks. He'll go to the line.
And what I mean by that, they haven't gotten inside the Flames like they did the first half and the start of the second half. They've relied on jump shots, and when they have gotten there to create fouls like they've had or have right now, they have not taken advantage of making fouls. They've got to make free throws if they want to win this.
Sean Williams picks up his 4th foul. Banks free throw on the way is good.
That's what you have to do.
Schneiderman back for Aaron Carr, who takes a break. You realize over the last 9.5 minutes, Loyola is on a 30-17 run.
Oh, I realized it. Rolling.
There's Larry Farmer. Banks free throw is good. And it's a 2-point game, and Banks says, I'll get David Bailey. And he picks him up and shadows him. David Bailey into the front court. To Sean Williams, to Clancy. To Paul McMillan.
Oh, he had a backdoor Clancy did a nice move.
McMillan jump shot, no rebound, setbacks. Not a wise shot, it appeared, for Loyola. Armand Williams flipped it in, good. He's got 26 in the game.
And it was not a good shot, as far as I'm concerned, for Loyola prior to that fast break.
Contested, turnaround. David Bailey barks out the signals. A tie ball game, we approach 4 minutes. Williams to David Bailey, guarded by Seth Banks. They're both out of Westinghouse High School. David Bailey flips it up inside, rimming no.
He lost it.
And he knocks out of bounds. It'll go to UIC.
Good effort on the part of Loyola, but the UIC, good play.
We will take an official's timeout. We're inside 4 minutes. David Bailey 5 of 19, but we've got a tie ball game.
A bank should do more than just wait for you to come along. A bank should make opportunities appear. LaSalle, the bank that works.
The defending Horizon League champion. Chicago's 2002 NCAA tournament team. Coach Jimmy Collins and outstanding players like Martell Bailey and Cedric Banks. The UIC Flames have Chicago seeing red. Come see red in Chicago this season at the UIC Pavilion. Get in for half price Monday, January 27th, when the UIC Flames travel Detroit at 7 o'clock. For tickets, call 312-413-UIC1.
At Jewel, it's the fresh way we slice, cook, arrange. The fresh way we pick, prepare, bake. The fresh way we make your life simpler, quicker, more elegant. The fresh way we do all we do. Fresh foods, fresh ideas. It's all here, all fresh to your family from Jewel.
Well, if you've ever heard of a calling tree, start dialing up your friends and say, flip on Fox Sports Net, there is a great game going on. 71 all, the Flames and the Ramblers, UIC and Loyola, 3:57 to go. And there's our key matchup tonight. McMillan, 13 points, 5 boards, and there's your star of the game. Armand Williams, 26 points, 13 boards. He has been a man.
No doubt about it. And we have a ways to go here. This game is tight.
No, the calling tree is a great thing.
Right.
Call your friends. Got a jump ball situation.
And Loyola has
Loyola.
And only reason I like that one is because the defense they put out there to create a turnover, basically, is their ball. If his arrow was pointing the other way, USC would have kept the ball.
They get it to David Bailey. Lewis Smith with a good pass. Bailey inside, kicks to Clancy. Bailey's got it, guarded by Banks now.
Good defense. That is excellent defense.
Bailey fall away. No rebound, Armand Williams.
That was good
number
defense.
14. Outstanding defense.
Well, each possession now is going to narrow down to being so amplified of what you can do with it, turnover, shot, or whatever it is. It's just down to just about 3 minutes left in this.
Cedric Banks goes by David Bailey and laid it in.
That was a quick move. Quick move.
McMillan late on rotation help. 6-0 run UIC, flipped up, scored, and won.
Wow. Did he get down the court in a hurry?
My God, I'm still trying to call the other play.
And he's down here laying it up and getting fouled.
Wow. Here comes David Bailey. He goes right by everyone, goes right by kicker. There's the body, hoop, harm, shoot one.
Man, that was quick.
And that is 4 on Kyle Kicker.
Blink of an eye.
He's down. David Bailey's free throw waved off a lane violation on Demetrius Williams.
Everything at this turning point in the game is so important, and to have that is ridiculous, to be honest with you. You can't have that. You can't have that at this point in time.
Bailey to Schneider. Set Banks. Looking to shoot a 3, but he fumbled as he came off the screen. Kicks back to Schneider. Shot clock inside 15. Armon Williams, open pass inside, he lays it in.
Nice pass.
28.
Nice.
Outstanding pass.
Good ball movement, Armon Williams. Nice. Working his way, get inside. Now, that's one of the few times this half that they've gotten inside. And they did the first half, they were inside all night long.
David Bailey fakes the 3. Kicks in the corner. Smith for 3. No. McMillan the rebound. Flips it up. Yes.
Big shot.
Tie game. We approach 2 minutes.
That was a big shot.
Go anywhere. Schneiderman for 3. No.
Well, he was open. He had the open look. Good pass. Good penetration. Another good tight ball game between these two.
What a ball game. David Bailey resets, brings it back out top. We are at 150. We're tied at 75. 8 lead changes, 9 ties. And you haven't seen anything yet.
No, you haven't.
Lewis Smith backs down Schneiderman and misses. Armon Williams, another rebound.
Well, you better get it to your ball handler. Let things settle down. This is a great, huge, big possession and a smart timeout.
All right, the 130 mark, 127 to be exact. We will stay right here. Both teams in the super bonus. Loyola dealing with more serious foul trouble, but of the men on the floor, you have Demetrius Williams with 4, Kyle Kicker with 4. Nobody else with 4 fouls that's currently in the ball. Jimmy Collins and Larry Farmer exhorting their troops on. Armon Williams picked a really good game to have career highs in 2 categories. 15 boards, 28 points.
Yes, indeed. He looked outstanding tonight, and it'd be a shame in one area.
Both new career highs.
But one area where it would hurt them if they don't come away with victory in this is the free throw.
Yep.
Did you say over? Nothing is over till we decide it is. And it ain't over now. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Any questions here?
They've got all the gimmies.
They have everything.
Schneiderman, the Martell Bailey shot clock inside 15. Set Banks in the corner. Drills a triple.
Another
three-pointer for Cedric Banks.
Another bucket after a timeout from Jimmy Collins.
They have manufactured points beautifully.
Another bucket after a timeout.
Demetrius Williams to David Bailey. Bailey on the move, flips it up. No. Williams the rebound, lays it in.
Got a timeout before they have the ball in. Good second rebound again.
Martell Bailey's assist to Banks on the 3, his 10th assist of the year.
Well, you see this right here, good play. He's juking inside and out on the baseline. He got free, but once again, relying on the jump shot. This was after a timeout, so.
Yep. They caught Clancy coming off a screen, and there's David Bailey. Flips it up, misses, but there's Williams inside. Demetrius Williams, a junior out of Chicago King High School, also played some junior college ball. Landon Cox, if you're sitting at home, you prepped your young man well.
Well, Landon. He was one of a kind.
He was.
Had some great teams over there, King.
Oh, what a record.
Well, once again, it comes down to a big possession.
Well, it's a one-point game now.
There's 20 second difference at
UIC a one-point lead.
of the clock, shot clock, and the game clock.
Martell Bailey to Armand Williams. Kicks it back to Martell Bailey. Shot clock is down to 15. Armand Williams has his shot blocked.
Good block. A gutsy defensive effort on that to go and get that. But then, what choice do you have? It's either a layup or a block, or then you get the free throw.
35.3 left. 15 on the shot clock.
Layup.
And a layup off an inbounds again.
Yes, sir. This is the biggest difference.
30 in the ballgame.
This is the biggest turnaround I've seen with this UIC team. Don't leave him open. They left him open. They left him open.
Look, missed the three. And UIC's got the rebound. Martell Bailey down the court.
Then they got a foul back here and stopped it.
With 18.5 seconds left.
I thought Kicker got the ball, but they left Bailey wide open. Well, it turned out to be a wise choice. But, man, you don't leave him wide open three-point shot. But, once again, this is where the free throws come in. Very important. Very important.
Game, 18.5 seconds left. I mean, this is a good ball game.
It's a great ball game. It's a great ball game.
This is outstanding. Fans will walk away from this one or turn the TV off and say, I had a lot of fun watching that game.
Well, here's where it's going to be won or lost right here.
Larry Farmer yelling.
They could have gotten Williams could have gotten a technical. I'm going to tell you. Williams could have gotten a technical. The officials are alerting him right now because he walked up to Kicker to make comment. No.
Don't say anything.
No, you don't even go near the ball, the opposition. Once again, you do your voicemail from a long distance, man. If you got to do that at all.
Well, here is our game reset. There's your timeouts. Both teams left with 1:30. UIC has a full. Both teams are in the super bonus. Possession arrow to UIC. And our player of the game, no question, Armand Williams. 30 points, double-digit rebounds, both career highs. Congratulations. Our player of the game is Armand Williams.
Deserving. Boy, that last layup, though, and the inbounds. Lowe was definitely asleep on that one. Woo.
By the way, before we come back to live action, our standings in the Horizon League, Butler rolling at 15-1. But they have a tough ball game tomorrow night. They're at UW-Milwaukee. Milwaukee 13-5. They're 4-2. The Flames in second place, 4-1, 10-4. And there's Loyola, 4-3 and 8-11. Great league, the Horizon League. Outstanding. Commissioner John LaCrone and Terry Powers do a wonderful job there. Bob Lovell, who's here today, Purdue League, make sure the officials are on top of everything. The league does a great job.
This is a big shot here.
This makes it a two-possession game. 18.5 left. If he makes it, if you're Loyola, you go for two.
Well,
Take it right to the rim.
You get the first available good shot you can get.
He makes it. 4-point game.
Stolen.
And Williams steals it from David Bailey. And there's a foul on Demetrius Williams. David Bailey was stripped by Armand Williams.
Armand Williams also, and along with Bates, outstanding defense in this game, too.
Demetrius Williams fouls out of the ball game on that play. 4-point game with 13.7 seconds left. I've seen stranger things. Don't go away. Williams, a big night. 15 points, 10 boards, and 5 big fouls.
Charles. Hit the road, Jack. They have everything.
There's Demetrius Williams. Here's the play. David Bailey had the ball knocked away by Armand Williams.
He had to foul him. You hit your free throws, you don't worry about it.
Boz Chief-Larinas will take Williams' spot. Here's the foul. There's the steal. And now here comes the foul.
I think that was a pass.
Right here.
Yeah, and that was a pass. It wasn't just a play.
Great steal, though.
Great steal and a pass. He threw a nice pass. Good rid of him.
Banks' free throw is no good. Could have made it a 6-point game if you make them both. Banks 21 points, 17 this half. And he misses both.
That should be
knocked out of bounds to Loyola.
Oh, I was just saying. I don't know about that one, but at the same time, you got to hit free throws, my friends. You've got to hit free throws.
David Bailey is going to pull up from way out, miss the three, kicker rebounds, and this one's going to be over. Schneiderman's got it, put it in the books, great ball game. UIC struggles at the line, but holds off. Loyola, 81 to 77, a doozy of a ball game. The Flames win it again, 81-77. Handshakes all around. Armand Williams to start tonight, 30 and 15 boards. Wow, what a ball game. We'll be back to wrap it up after this on Fox Sports Net.
In game one, a legend returns for one final curtain call.
He can shoot it with his eyes closed. Absolutely awesome.
Michael Jordan gives his last performance in Chicago, the city where the star became an immortal and a champion.
Here's Jordan.
It's one of the greatest teams that ever lived. Then the nightcap. A rematch of last year's NBA Finals.
A three-peat for the world champion Lakers.
Jason Kidd and the powerful Nets are in LA to take on Shaq, Kobe, and the resurgent Lakers. Gotta be born. More than 22,000 fans expected in the United Center to see the final game of Michael Jordan in Chicago, and the man himself. This could be a very emotional night for Michael as he plays his last game in the United Center. Hello and welcome to NBA Friday. I'd like to welcome everyone watching on ESPN. Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony, and boy, what a big night. We start with the Wizards and Bulls and Michael's final game. Then we finish with a rematch of the NBA Finals as the Lakers take on the Nets. And, you know, I hate to repeat myself. I said this last week, but there really are only 3 or 4 must-see games in an NBA season. This is one of them, Greg. And I don't know if folks out there can really grasp the magnitude of what Michael means to the city of Chicago.
You know, that's so true. This is going to be an extremely huge night, not only for Michael Jordan, but as you mentioned, the city of Chicago. Because when you speak of Michael Jordan, you're talking about the most dominant sports figure in that city's illustrious history, you know, surpassing the likes of Red Grange, Bobby Hull, and one of my all-time favorites, Ernie Banks. So tonight's going to be extremely exciting.
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan has, like, pushed Mrs. O'Leary's cow to the back burner. I mean, everyone's forgotten about the cow. Patrick Ewing, the assistant coach for the Wizards, he says, I want to see him cry. I hope that he breaks down. I don't know if Michael will break down, but I think it'll be a very, very emotional night. Coming up at halftime, we will talk live with Phil Jackson, the man who, along with Michael, helped define that dynasty in Chicago. 6 championships and really an aura around that team, that they were an unbeatable force. Michael Jordan, 122-9 in the United Center, hugging Jesse Jackson. The game's next.
I'm saving $160 a night at this 4-star hotel.
A 3-star for $59 a night.
We're saving $100 a night in New York City.
But we even got the kids in their own room.
Priceline now has the guaranteed best prices at top-of-the-line hotels. Save up to 40% off other leading online sites.
I paid $55 less than at Hotels.com.
$60 less than Expedia.
I told them the price.
The exact neighborhood. And even how many stars. And they found it.
Now we'll stay at a hotel instead of the in-laws.
Top of the line, guaranteed best price. Priceline Hotels.
You gelling? No telling how much I'm gelling. You gelling?
You know I'm gelling.
Hey, Ellen, you gelling?
I'm gelling like a felon. You want some melon?
Nah, but hey, I'm like mud gelling. I'm so gelling.
Nice.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles are made from the softest gel ever created. If you and your shoes don't feel outrageously comfortable, you get your money back. Guaranteed.
I'm gelling.
You're not gelling. You're so not gelling. Are you gelling yet? Learn how to gel at DrScholz.com.
Do you like the conditioner and shampoo in one?
Well, yeah, you know, I do, but it does leave my hair a little oily and... Dang it! What is wrong with you idiot? This is not a toy!
Easy, Bobby. He's sensitive.
What if he tore it up? I can't believe...
You've got some big ones, my friend. I didn't think you had it in you.
Scratch here. There's a dent over here.
What have you been up?
JBJ will make it easy for you to warm the heart of your loved one this Valentine's Day with gifts and greeting cards that send just the right message. And it won't take long to find the perfect expression of your love because there's so much to choose from at JBJ. But feel free to take your time and look through all the wonderful items and themes on display. After all, Valentine's Day comes only once a year, and nothing says I love you like the perfect gift from JBJ.
Union Party, his old tux still fit, but his old dandruff shampoo couldn't handle black, so I bought him Selsun Blue moisturizing shampoo. Doctor recommended with aloe moisturizers for healthy hair and scalp.
Hey, man, you're looking great.
Never wear black without the blue. Selsun Blue.
Choose the resorts everyone loves. Sandals, where couples can escape to 11 hideaways voted world's best, and the best of everything's included. Book now, save 35%. Call your travel agent or 1-800-SANDALS.
PN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by the all-new 220 horsepower Mazda 6 Sports Sedan.
Welcome to Chicago. It's been 5 years since Michael Jordan and the Bulls hung the last of their 6 championship banners, but you get the feeling it could be 50 years, and people here will never forget. Thanks for the memories. They're all here. They know this is their last chance to see Michael Jordan on the floor of the Chicago Bulls, on the floor that he made famous. John Saunders alongside of Sean Elliott. And Sean, you think back to when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in a game. It was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The arena sat about 6,000, but I think there were 500,000 people who said they went to the game. You get the feeling that's what it will be like tonight. Everyone in Chicago will say, we were there.
And I'm privileged enough to be here. I'm excited. I told you, when he comes out and runs out, I might be lighting a match when Michael Jordan gets introduced. I'm excited.
Without question, it's going to be a lot of fun regardless of the outcome. And right now, we want to join Steve Scott one more time to announce the arrival of MJ.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. Introducing first the visiting Washington Wizards. The head coach of the Wizards is Doug Collins. Now the starting lineup. At forward, from North Carolina, 6'6", Jerry Stackhouse. A 6'11" forward from Duke, Christian Laettner. At center, from North Carolina, 7 foot, Brendan Haywood. A 6'5" guard from St. Louis, Larry Hughes. From North Carolina, at guard,